This 16-year-old is still in high school. He's in 11th grade, and right now he's getting set to take on one of the hottest players on the planet, Singapore's very own Aloysius Yap. So, AJ, what do you think? You're taking on one of the best players in the world in his home country on the TV table. What's your thinking right now?
I'm very nervous because I'm playing with the Singapore number one player, and I will do my best. And yeah, this.
So you told me that you have been playing since you were 7 years old. So and your grandfather in the Philippines taught you. What have you learned from your grandfather and from all these other great players the Filipino players that you play with, to compete in a match like this?
Uh, just stay focused on the table. Don't 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 s- don't see to the other people, and just stay on the table.
Good advice. Now, it must be pointed out that AJ, you won the junior tournament at the Hanoi Open, so you do have experience playing under pressure. Was there a lot of pressure in that tournament?
That's a lot of pressure because so many so many crowd watching.
Okay, so just play your game, right?
Just play the best in your game.
Okay, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very pleased to be joined by Aloysius Yap from Singapore, playing in our next match right here on the TV table. Aloysius, you have been traveling the world in the last year, and you've been having your best year ever. What's it like to come back to your home country, right here where you grew up, you learned to play the game, and you're playing in this big event?
I mean, it's always nice to play back home. Um, yeah, I've been traveling so much, so I'm pretty tired, but it's exciting, and I do hope there are more big events happening in my country. So yeah, I'm looking forward to my match later.
You always seem to play so relaxed. Are you under a little more pressure here because you're playing in Singapore?
Yeah, I mean for sure because like everybody I know they're around here, and yeah, there's definitely more pressure playing in front of your home crowd. So yeah, I just hope to do my best and yeah and enjoy the match.
What do you attribute your success to in the last year? Hard work, luck, combination of both?
Definitely a combination of both, and I think there's a lot more luck than yeah. I mean I work really hard in when I'm off tournaments. So yeah, they say that hard work, it will sort of like give you more luck. So hopefully I can get really lucky this time again.
Okay, so your opponent, do you know anything about him? AJ Menas?
Yeah, I know he won the Hanoi Open Junior. I know he's a good player, and yeah, so I'm looking forward to a like a exciting match. Yeah.
Okay, thanks for stopping by and best of luck.
Thank you.
here with the Philippines' AJ Banas. This 16-year-old is still in high school.
And enjoy the match.
What do you attribute your success to in the last year? Hard work, luck, combination of both?
Definitely a combination of both, and I think there's a lot more luck than. Yeah, I work really hard in when I'm off tournaments. So yeah, they say that hard work, it will sort of like give you more luck. So hopefully I can get really lucky this time again.
Okay, so your opponent, do you know anything about him, AJ Banas?
Yeah, I know he won the Hanoi Open Junior. I know he's a good player, and yeah, so I'm looking forward to a exciting match. Yeah.
Okay, thanks for stopping by and best of luck.
Thank you, thank you.
Well, Gabriel, one thing I can say about Aloysius Yap is I've been here for a few days in Singapore and talk to anybody in the pool world and you say, well, who's your favorite player? Aloysius Yaps. I mean, he's only 27 years old, right? But yet everyone here looks up to him.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, Aloysius is like our national hero when it comes to Nineball especially. He's like the best there is in this country. Everybody knows him. Everybody looks up to him. And he's so humble in his approach. He's always willing to be there for photos, for advice and everything. So he's very well liked by the community in Singapore.
He's a very nice young man, and perhaps he sees a little bit of himself in AJ Manas from the Philippines, who's just 16 years old. And Aloysius started when he was 9. This kid started when he was 7 years old, and he's lucky that his grandfather taught him, and they had a pool table in the family compound in Antipolo City in the Philippines, and so he was able to play because otherwise at that age obviously you can't go into pool halls. But he's a really great talent, and in Hanoi recently where the Hanoi Open took place, they had a junior event and AJ won that junior event.
Yeah, he won that. I think with a score of about 9-4 in the finals. Yeah, he's really, really good. And Aloysius, there's certainly a lot of similarities between AJ Manas and Aloysius. So, I mean, I think AJ Manas might be looking up to Aloysius right now, as far as the other players are concerned.
Yes, I would think so. And he certainly told me that before the match. He's obviously very nervous playing on the TV table, playing here in Singapore, and Aloysius, his home country. So, all right, let's go over the rules quickly. It's a race to 10, winner breaks. The winner moves on to the final 16, and the loser's out. So everything to play for here.
Yes.
You'll see that the players are breaking from inside that box there in the center. The ball must be inside, the cue ball must be in the center there. There's no 3-point rule. And again, winner break. So if you win the rack, you're back up at the table shooting again, and you can basically run the whole set.
And we've seen
if
that.
You can.
And we've seen that happen. Actually, Aloysius on the opposite end of the Ko Ping Chong game in the US Open when he lost 11-0. So I mean, anything can happen with winner breaks. So don't count anybody out, and the game is over when it's over, when the last 9 ball drops.
So most players shooting for that 1 ball to go into the side, but he did not get the 1, but he did get the 7 down, so he continues to shoot. Long shot here on the 1, difficult shot. What do you see for this shot?
I'm looking maybe for a safety, because knowing Aloysius, he's more of a conservative kind of player. He doesn't really go for these kinds of shots. I'm totally wrong there. What a brilliant shot by Aloysius.
Except there he does. But he, seeing as it had natural position on that shot to get to the 2 ball, maybe not as conservative as he didn't need to be that conservative.
He certainly saw value shooting that 1 ball, so I think that's why he opted to shoot it. Aloysius actually coming off a very good run in the US when he played 2 matchrooms and he took the crown for both of them, the Battle of the Bull and the International Open. So he should be feeling high in confidence right now. Then you can see it when you shot the 1 ball, that was no hesitation, it was go, and he pulled the trigger.
That's right. He is clearly in stroke. He has been on the road. He has been playing in numerous events, and he has won. He won the International Open in Virginia, which had field. So his confidence is soaring.
And it certainly helps to be playing in your home ground in Singapore. So the odds are stacked against AJ Manas here.
Well, the only thing you can say about that, and he mentioned it in the interview about, there's more pressure here because, you know, when he's on the road in the U.S., nobody's expecting anything, and you know, don't really pay attention much to him. But here, obviously, everybody's just going, yeah, as I said, Aloysius Yap, oh, he's my hero. Aloysius, you know, they're expecting him to win. But that's what comes with being a pro and being playing at the highest levels. You got to deal with that kind of pressure.
It's so tough. What these guys do is so tough. What is dealing with that pressure? Apart from the pressure of the game, there's the pressure off the table. That's so hard to deal with. So Aloysius looks poised to be taking the first rack.
But he's at the point of his career that everyone in Singapore who watches Q Sports are expecting him to win.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't win, he has to have an explanation why.
Yes, especially local tournaments. You know, no one expects him to lose. It's when you play a tournament and you see his name there, everybody just assumes that, oh, Aloysius, this is for Aloysius to win.
So Aloysius keeps Manas in his chair for this first rack. A break and run. And Aloysius Yap goes up 1-0. Race to 10. Winner breaks, so Aloysius will be back up. AJ just has to bide his time and take advantage of any chance he gets. Be too much room for error here in this match.
So Ted, one of my favorite questions I'd like to ask. Score predictions for this game.
I'll call it 10-4.
10-4?
Yes.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking.
You're in favor of Aloysius? Say that AJ's not capable. I mean, this guy here, Aloysius, is been just in stroke, and he's been playing a lot, but he's been winning. He's been placing high in tournaments. This is one of the hardest sports in the world. You have to be a very hardy soul to be out there on the road trying to earn a living in pool. There are so many great players, and every year the players and the talent just keeps getting better and better. They come from more and more countries. And it is so difficult to get to the top and stay on the top.
Yes, and that comes with the work that Matchroom is putting in to help grow the sport in all regions of the world. So I'm really grateful that they are organizing tournaments so that talents like Albert Manas can come up and showcase their skills for the rest of the world to see.
Well, here we get our first look at the young Filipino. He's 10 years old. He's in the 11th grade. He had to ask permission to get out of high school this week. Next week, he'll be back to his studies.
That's a good safety shot he's played there. But I think he's left a very easy one-rail kick option for Aloysius. So I don't think that he will be expecting a ball in hand from this situation.
He doesn't look even 16, does he? He looks like 11.
Yeah, he certainly is. He looks good for his age. But just taking back to the break there, we realized that Aloysius has missed the one in the side for 2 racks in a row. So there's certainly some thinking that Aloysius needs to reflect upon.
Nicely done. Safety there. So how different would the TV table under these lights be from the tables on the outside?
Well, after talking to Sharon yesterday, he said that the tables are very dry, very nice, very slick as compared to the outside tables, which are a little bit more bouncy and a bit slower. So every TV table I think, will play a little bit more slick and different from the rest of the outside tables. So it certainly helps if you're very used to this environment, which Aloysius is. So for Albert Manas, I mean, he's played in many tournaments before that has these slick conditions. So I think he's quite accustomed to it as well.
Well, he was able to make contact on the one, but he's left that wide open. You mentioned how humble Aloysius is. How do you maintain that humbleness? I mean, how do you, when you're playing so well, it must be easy to get cocky and think you can't be beat. But every time I have seen and talked to Aloysius, he is the nicest young man you would ever want to meet.
Yes.
There's not like a bad bone in his body.
Yes. I think that mostly comes from his work ethic. He's always thinking about how he wants to improve himself, never thinking about his achievements and how well he's played. He's always looking at how to build himself to be a better player. So I think that certainly rubs on from his personality. So he's always humble, always thinking like, oh, he needs to improve in this aspect. Yes, I played well, but he wants to improve. He wants to be even better.
I had a long conversation yesterday with Paul Pan from Asia Pool Promotions, and him and his son Dominic, the ones who are the driving force behind this event, promoting this event. And they took Aloysius under their wing when Aloysius was just 9 years old, and he was playing at home with a little fold up table, and all he ever wanted to do was play pool. And Paul was just, as he just kept telling me all this story about how they supported Aloysius and when he was just a child in his endeavors in pool, just how hard he works.
Yes.
How long he studies. He was looking at DVDs. He would go to the Q Shop. There you see the Q Shop logo there, the billiard supply store that they run here in Singapore. He would open up the books and read all the books and the strategies and all the techniques that you need to learn. I mean, he was a sponge, just soaking it up from wherever he could find information.
Yes. And it certainly shows in his talent that he's displaying now from where he started. And by and large, he has not really changed. He's still always open to learning, always open to trying new things. So he's always looking to be better.
Well, that's the recipe for a champion. Never resting on your laurels, always trying to improve, not being cocky. I mean, look at this. He's just expertly moving that cue ball around the table. It's all wide open for him now.
Well, there's a little bit of a problem with the 7 ball because it doesn't pass the 9 into the corner pocket. So will he be lining up a combination maybe?
Or get below the 7.
There's also a possibility. But it's always so hard. You have such a small area and your cue ball is traveling so much. It's really hard to control it in that small area. Well, but the position that he's played for the 6 to the 7 indicates that he's wanting to play the 7 in the same pocket as the 6 ball. Gotta wash that shirt. didn't quite
Yeah,
get there.
he ran into the 7. He wanted to come underneath it. Well, this could be an opportunity now for Manas to get one on the board.
I think he's still settling into the TV table conditions and how the rails run. So it's understandable that he's in the early stages. There will be some mistakes from Aloysius. What's he looking to do here, Ted?
Just put distance between the two balls.
So this isn't really an easy situation that Albert Manas is faced with. I think he's going attacking because it's so hard to play the safety. Looking to bank it up in the top left corner.
That's a great shot.
He's played that beautifully.
Beautiful from the 16-year-old, and he sets himself up in perfect position. So AJ with this 9-ball ties it up at 1 apiece. That will settle the nerves a bit. And Aloysius Yap will sit and wonder, well, maybe I have to do something a little better on my safety next time. He left a straight in bank shot for AJ. And I'm impressed the way he made that bank shot. It was with a very nice touch.
It was clean. It didn't even touch the side rail. That just goes to show his ability, his confidence ability that Albert Manas has. And it's a good way to get off the board. To start your distance with, to start your journey with, in this game with Aloysius.
Do not underestimate AJ Manas. Tied at 1 here in this round of 32. The winner moves on to the round of 16, and the loser is out.
So both players missing the 1 in the side. Could it be nerves, Ted? Or is it just unfamiliarity? Or they're just getting started? They're not warmed up yet?
They had a fair amount of practice on this table because we had over an hour break since the last match. It's one of those things. Nobody's been able to get a ball down yet. The 1 ball, rather, on the break. Again, they're always going to try to get that 1 ball in the side. So it'll be the lefty, Aloysius Yap, now shooting.
Looking to thin the left side of the 1 ball.
Oh, he's left that on.
You know, so often we see the professionals making the 1 in the side that we take it as a formality, but we forget how difficult that this break really is.
Well, when you watch a guy like Ko Ping Chung, who just regularly just puts that 1 in the side, it makes it look so easy. And if you're watching him, you go, yeah, look, this must be easy. Just got to know where to put it on the table and hit it, and it automatically goes in. No, it doesn't. It's a real skill,
This
that
is
break shot.
Really, really tough. Much, much more difficult than the 1 on the spot.
He used the 8-ball as a guide and to help him get position on the 2.
It looks like he played that shot so he can get more angle for the cue ball
Yeah.
to come up for the 2.
Very clever shot there.
It's the Filipinos. When you watch them play, they're all full of creativity and they're very innovative on the table. So they're really used to coming up with shots like this because it's just part of them. It's second nature when it comes to them.
Wow. That's impressive. He juiced that all the way over there for the 3 after banging home that 2 ball. The 16-year-old making some nice shots here.
What were you doing when you were 16 years old, Ted?
I wasn't playing any level.
Really quite
Played a lot of
remarkable.
golf when I.
It's really very remarkable that he's hit this standard at age of 16 years old.
This is very impressive.
It's a very strong showing, early showing here from Albert Manas. And he's shown that he can deal with the nerves of being on the TV table.
Boy, he's got the whole toolkit, doesn't he? The pre-match nerves he talked about the pressure of playing Aloysius Yap here in Singapore on the TV table, they're gone. Nowhere to be found. He's already in stroke, and he's going to be up 2-1. AJ Manas from the Philippines. 2-1 over Aloysius Yap here in this race to 10. He'll be breaking in rack number 4, winner breaks format. And we'd like to thank our title sponsor, TE Capital, for helping make this event possible. Also the folks at the APF, Asian Pool Federation, and the Asian Pool Promotions, which is the commercial arm of the APF. Also the Matchrooms World Ball Tour. This event organized by Asian Pool Promotions, but winners here will get ranking points for the World Nineball Tour. Get enough points, you might find yourself with an automatic invite to one of their major events. Seen around the world, which could do quite a lot for your career. So there's a little more to play for than just the prize money here.
Especially if you're from the Asian contingent. It's so difficult to travel to US, to Europe to play all the tournaments. So finally something that's a little closer to home for vital ranking points is very important for these Asian players.
There, he got the 1 in the side. That's the ideal break. Shot on the 2. Well, you can see it. It's lined up with the 9 ball. 3's in the way of the pocket, though. Just to let you know that the one ball and the 9 ball always spot. All the other balls are racked at random.
This wrecked by our referee, so no chance of pattern wrecking or any sort of rack manipulation in any sense. So that's really good. In fact, all the tables, even the side tables, are wrecked by our referees. So this is a very fair tournament for. It's really a showcase of whose skill is better.
That's what it's all about, isn't it? That's what the break box is all about, to try to toughen up the break rules. So nothing to do there but go safe, but he flubs that one. As you can see, he has left the 2 on. The 3 is sitting right there in the pocket. 4 is out in the open. This is a very nice looking table that has been left to Aloysius Yap. He should be able to tie this one up in no time.
So with everything in the open, I think that you're expecting Aloysius to clear. It seems like a formality here.
How would you assess his stroke? I've heard a lot of people say he kind of reminds them of a younger Wu Cha-Ching. They're both lefties. He's got this like sort of hesitation when he brings the cue back. How do you assess his stroke? It appears to me to be very strong,
It's funny that
very solid.
It's funny you brought up Wu Jiaxing because that's actually his idol growing up. I think
Yeah,
that
that's what Paul Pan mentioned to me, that was one of the guys, when he was young, would, he'd say, hey, look, he won the world title at 16 years old. I want to be that guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Aloysius spends a lot of time on his stroke, always refining it, practicing so that he can replicate it and be sort of robotic in that sense. He's an avid fan of Fedor Ghost. So, he really wants to have that kind of consistency in his game.
So after they leave by Manas on the safety, left the table wide open, and Yap clears the colors. And now we're
So Aloysius, it's interesting to see how Aloysius' approach will be for this next break, because he has failed to make the side for the past 2 breaks. So maybe shifting the cue ball a bit to the side, or change sides to the side that AJ breaks from. So often you see them doing that.
always 15 other matches on our outside table. This is the round of 32. Vietnam's Bui Trong An up 9-2 over Singapore's Joel Lai. Pao Amoroto up 9-1 over Ko Ping Han, who's the younger brother of Ko Ping Yi and Ko Ping Chung. Vietnam's Luong Doc Ting 8-2 over Emmanuel Delgado. The race is to 10. There it is.
There you go.
1 ball in the side. Shot on the 2.
The players are always looking to get that cue ball into the 9. You'll see that a lot of golden breaks happen because that's what the players are playing for. Also to stop the cue ball, to have some control in the middle of the table to maximize their chance for the shot on the lowest number.
Increase the percentages.
Yes.
So by having the cue ball in or around the center of the table. He executed just what you said perfectly just now.
Correct. So all the players, that's what they're looking for. Because if it doesn't hit that 9, it's going to be zipping up back and forth, and there's not much control on that cue ball. So all the best breakers in the world are fantastic at shooting that cue ball into that 9 ball.
Excellent analysis, Gabriel. That says it all about the break shot.
So Aloysius evaluating his options here for the safety on the 2 ball. He played some form of two-way shot, trying to bank the 2 past the 4, while also leaving it behind the 8 and 9. Could we see the jump cue make an appearance again?
We will see Shorty. Indeed. Can he see it directly? He's going to go in the rail first.
From this
I think
angle,
he can see it.
Yeah, I think he can see it, but very thin. He's got to hit it really good. He's almost made that 2-ball after the jump.
Again, the safety works to the advantage of Yap. Honest leaves the 2-ball open.
So Ted, what's your take on the jump cues and jumping in Nineball and in general?
I've lived in the Philippines a long time. They're a lot of the old timers there. They're like Efren, Bustamante. You know, they don't like the jump cue. You put a player in a safety, and you should have to play out of the safety.
Yeah.
If you're going to jump with your regular cue, not a specialty cue like a jump cue. Having said that, I understand that argument, and I understand the other side of the discussion where it's, you know, it's part of the game. It's an exciting part of the game. The crowd loves the jump cue. Oh my!
That's a very rare miss from Aloysius there.
Wow.
Note that down. Aloysius missed an open shot. You don't see that too often, Ted.
That was an elementary shot, maybe a lapse of concentration. So just that 8-ball tucked up against the 9, not exactly against it, but it's going to require some positional play to get at the 8-ball. I mean, if you lock down an opponent with a safety, it's nice to see if they can kick their way out of it. That's would seem to be the fair way to do it. But again, the jump cue is not going anywhere, so you might as well just enjoy it because
It's here to stay.
it is exciting.
Yes. And some of the things that the players can do with the jump cue is really amazing.
Would be interesting to see a tournament where jumping was allowed, but not the jump cue. I'm not sure the manufacturers of jump cues would agree to that. They do sponsor pool.
Yes.
They sell a lot of jump sticks because of that.
I think that in America, there's some tournaments, maybe the smaller ones, that are actually without jump cues. So, yeah, there's a lot of people in America that believe that, you know, jump cues aren't the way to go forward. But with Matchroom, it's here to stay. So might as well get good at it if you're really thinking about turning pro and...
Oh, yeah. So this has been pretty elementary after that glaring mistake, and this is what you do. You don't let your opponent off the hook in this game. There's just not enough balls on the table. You make a mistake, you will pay for it at this level. AJ Manas now up 3-2 after the miss on the 3-ball by Singapore's Aloysius Yap. We'll see that coming up here in these hits.
So to update on the recent results, we have Ko Ping Yi beating Jeffrey Ignacio with a score of 10-1.
Wow.
He's really on fire.
That's surprising.
Ko Ping Yi
We expected that to be a lot closer.
Yes. Jeffrey Ignacio is having a good year. Recently finished runner-up in the Taiwanese 9-ball tournament organized by Matchroom, where he lost to Ko's younger brother, Ko Ping Chung. Yeah, he's having a good run.
Well, we didn't get a chance to watch that because we're here, and but looks like Ko must have put a few racks together there and kept Ignacio in his chair.
Yes. All eyes on Singapore's golden boy and possibly Philippines' new golden boy.
Well, if he manages to pull off the upset here, he will be right at the top of the media scrum, that's for sure. And there's a lot of great players in the Philippines, that young up-and-coming players, veterans right now. It's not easy to get noticed, but he leads Aloysius Yap too, playing good pool, and Yap, a few errors have allowed Manas at the table and to grab this 3-2 lead.
You talk about how much talent there is in Philippines. Just by looking at the last 32, there is 15 players from the Philippines.
That's half the field.
Yes. I mean, that just shows, where the talent is in how much talent there is in Philippines. It's amazing.
On the dry break, Yap comes up and executes a push out.
So Aloysius is opting to jump this. Well, AJ Manas
Gave it back.
gave it back because he can't reach his left. He's not left-handed, he's right-handed. So that's quite a smart push out there by Aloysius, using that to his advantage.
Oh, he very nearly made that.
But Ted, I can't really understand why he took that jump shot. It was such a difficult task to do, getting that cue ball all the way back to the 2 ball that was on the other side of him.
What would you have liked to see him play? Or give?
Honestly, with so many balls there, I thought that he might be kicking at it, trying to get the cue ball behind any one of those balls, those 4 balls, the 4, 5, 9, and the 7. But his jump is, of course, top notch. So I can understand the confidence in the ability.
Cue ball is going to be doing some traveling. 2's at the top of the table. The 3 all the way at the other end.
As with that 6 ball there, placing for this 3 ball, it's not easy.
No.
Played it with a lot of inside spin. Possibly as some form of two-way shot, not using those 3 balls as a blocker. So Aloysius with the jump cue again. That with
Oh, I think he's going to like this. Well, it's just a bit short.
he can't pop the 3 ball, he can play a very tight safety again to put AJ Manas in a world of trouble. Is he lining up the carom on the 6 ball?
There you can see he's using that wall of balls there as blockers.
So one thing that Aloysius does that is good for amateur players to pick up would be that he doesn't like to get too cute playing his shots. He does something simple but effective, and it's really worked out for anyone that's looking to improve their game, to take their game to the next level. I think that watching Aloysius is certainly one of the ways that you can really improve as fast as possible.
Keeping things simple.
Yes. Ko Ping Chong and Ke Ping Ye are also great examples of how you can play the game in such a simple manner. Made good contact with the 3 ball, but he's left it. So a chance for AJ Manas to pull out a 2-rack lead over Aloysius Yap.
Absolutely. If he can put a few racks together, he can apply some serious heat on the Singaporean great.
But I gotta say that these center pockets aren't easy. They are really tight.
4 1/4 inches.
Yes.
4-inch pockets on the corner. Oh.
Just as we said it, commentators curse.
No, actually, you predicted it, so it's not the curse. You know, it's actually you said, yes, these are tight. That's not an easy shot. It's not a straight-in shot.
It's not as easy as the common viewer would think it is.
No, it's very
These aren't your
difficult.
regular tables in the Paul, or these are professional playing conditions that we have here in Aspire Recreational Centre. So one more question for you, Ted. Are you a fan of the bigger pockets or the smaller pockets?
Well, obviously, you want to see the best players win. So you got to toughen up the game. It's as simple as that.
I'm a huge fan of the smaller pockets.
Yeah, you got to toughen up the game. The bigger the pockets, obviously, the lesser players can come through, and there's more upsets by lesser players. That might be exciting, but first of all, you want it to be fair, and you want it to be as competitive as can be. But you want the best players to come through.
Yes. And the standard that this change has made to the game and the players is obvious for everybody to tell. Everybody has improved tremendously from the time before, when it was the bigger pockets and the one on the spot with the magic rack. Now with this new format, the tighter pockets and the trickier racks, players have really grown in their game. One of which I feel would be Joshua Filler. Last time when he first came out to the scene, he was very loose with the cue ball. But as time went on, he played all these matchroom tournaments. I think he realized that that the cue ball had to be a little bit better. And now his cue ball is phenomenal, and he's probably the best player in the world because he can mix that accuracy with a very good cue ball control. So Aloysius has fallen a little short on this 9-ball.
So after the bobble on the side pocket shot from AJ, it's Yap who cleans up the colors and ties it at 3. Here you see the highlights from that rack, and you'll see coming up the missed shot on the 4 ball, I believe.
Yeah, it's
On
the 4 ball
in the
he
side
missed.
pocket. So we'd also like to thank our equipment sponsors here. Rasson, Mr. Sung's Acura Pool Table. That's the official table of the TE Capital 9-ball Open. As we watch that 9-ball go down again. Dynasphere's Palladium Pool Balls. Bringing us back to more of the traditional colors of pool balls. CPBA Royal Cloth on the tables. Perimeter Lightings providing the nice lighting setup here at the Aspire Recreation Center in the Harbourfront Mall, in the heart of Singapore. Aloysius Yap ties it up at 3. Winner breaks format. He's at the table breaking.
He's gotten the 1 in the side and cue ball into the 9, but he has no shot for the 2 ball. That's just what makes this break so intricate, is the unpredictability of it. Even you hit it, even though you're good, you're not guaranteed a shot on the next one, the lowest number ball.
The other side of that, though, is it doesn't matter what rules you play. I've watched thousands of hours of pool, especially 9-ball. But it's one thing that never changes. I don't care what the size of the pockets are, what break rules you're using. It's called the pressure.
Yes.
Even when pockets were buckets, as soon as that pressure's on late in an event, money on the line, world championships on the line, that pressure is the great equalizer.
Yes.
So you have to be able to handle the pressure. Probably more than anything. That's the thing that separates the average player on the pro circuit from the champions.
No amount of training can prepare you for the pressure, right?
That's right. Who can handle the pressure? Who can close out matches? I think that for the fans, that casual fans of pool, that's really what you got to look for. As we get closer to the championship, you will notice and feel it. The pressure and the tension will rise, and there's nothing quite like the pressure of a professional pool match when everything's on the line. It is sometimes even so much pressure it's hard to watch because you actually feel sorry for the players, but that's what it's all about. Plus the money is not really up to where a lot of sports are, so it makes a big difference.
every cent counts.
Everything counts.
Yeah.
And sometimes your entire career can come down to a slight millimeter turn of the ball.
I think one of the commentators put it very, very well. You travel thousands of miles only to depend on millimeters of the ball. So I think he perfectly summed up 9-ball in that one sentence.
It's a very cruel sport. So those that do rise to the top, like an Aloysius Yap, you really you don't just congratulate him for just winning a tournament. It's for persevering through hell and high water. So safety exchanges here. Tied at 3. Talk about tension. I think there's a bit of tension out here right now.
Especially with this rack, everything being wide in the open. This 2-ball, a slight misplay on the safety here could result in a loss of rack. So you talk about handling pressure. Over the years of commentary, who do you think has been the best at handling pressure?
Darren Appleton.
Darren Appleton. He's certainly one of...
When he was in his prime
Yeah.
in pool. There was nobody like him. Ooh.
Q-Bot's got to make a rail.
Yeah, he's not really playing his best here.
So could it be the pressure from the home support that's getting to Aloysius?
Maybe, knowing that a lot of people are counting on him to win.
So
You talk about that pressure. It was in the World Nineball Championship. I believe it was 2013 that Darren Appleton won. He was playing Li Wen of China in the finals, and Appleton was cruising to victory. He was, I believe he was up 10-2, 12-3. It was a race to 17, I believe. And it was a race to 15, something like that. But everybody was online going, that's it, the new world champion, congratulating him. And then all of a sudden, little by little, Li Wen started chipping away. And it was, no, this isn't going to happen. It can't happen. There's no way he can come back from that. Well, sure enough, he came back. I was right, it was a race to 13. Tied it up at 12.
Wow.
And was Appleton's break. It was an alternate break format. He was breaking in the final rack. And when he stood up out of his chair, I mean, the crowd was in a frenzy. Couldn't believe what they were seeing. His shoulders were slumped over. And you just thought, there's no way he can even hold the cue, much less get through this rack. But sure enough, he bore down with the weight of the world, the weight of the universe on his shoulders, and he managed to pull out that rack. He ran the rack, actually.
That's something very commendable. You know, to wrestle over the initiative like that in a hill final of the biggest pool
After
championship.
blowing a massive
Yes,
lead
exactly.
in the World Championship,
in
and
the
all his
biggest pool
confidence
tournament. Yes, exactly.
going just right out the door. He had all the confidence was shot. But he managed to, he said afterwards, it was all about just telling yourself, go back to the fundamentals. So nicely done here from AJ Manas. So he was down 1-0, tied it up at 1. Then he was down 2-1, tied it up at 2. Then he was down 2-3, tied it up at 3. And he takes his first lead.
So just a little state from the outside tables. We have Ko Ping Chung in 10-2 over Nguyen Manduk. And Jerson Mayas, which is actually having a fantastic tournament so far, started off by beating Carlo Biado in the first round. So he's beat Nguyen Antoine 10-5, also a very good player from Vietnam. Lung Dut Tien has beaten Emmanuel Delgado 10-2. So he's certainly recovered after that shocker of a loss he had yesterday.
Another one who's good at handling pressures, we talked about earlier, Wu Cha-ching. Fantastic player under pressure.
To win the World Championship at 16 years old.
Oh,
Wow.
just...
And actually beat Kuo Po
that
Chung.
was- yeah,
Kuo Po Chung in
Guo
the
Cheng,
final.
yes.
He break and ran the last 5 racks, right,
5
to
racks.
take it home.
I was there, saw that in person. That was an incredible feat. So there you...
But Ted, most of the players that you're talking about now are all probably from a little bit last, like 10 years ago. But how about now, the modern game? Anybody that stands out particularly to you?
Well, just look at the winners. Like you said, Filler. You talked about how great his stroke is. Filler,
Yeah.
Gorst. Good pressure play. David Alcady
Oh, yes.
of Spain.
Filler is really amazing.
Shane Van Boning, very resilient player. One of the greats ever.
I think one of the best moments last year was seeing Shane Van Boening pull off his first World Championship, winning the World Nineball. And you could see how much it meant to him. He won everything there is to win, and this World Championship just eluded him for like the entire of his career.
Yeah, and he made it to the finals several times.
Yes.
And lost. Never lost hope. Oh, obviously, AJ Manas not intimidated by getting into the muck and mire with Aloysius Yap in a safety battle. He's been performing extremely well here, whereas Yap seems to have lost a bit of focus. Rack number 5 was a bit of a turning point. It was 2-2 at that point, and Yap missed a very makeable short shot on the 3. And right since then, all the racks have gone to Manas. And here again,
He's made a very good contact with the 2-ball right there.
it's open.
It's open. That's the difference when you're looking at amateur level and at a pro level. The difference is at an amateur level, this 2-ball might not be makeable for the amateur players, but for these professionals, these balls just are hangers for them.
How about this? It's a pretty good looking table here for the 16-year-old with a chance to put a little bit of distance between himself and the great Aloysius Yap.
So it's a good opportunity for AJ Manas to get some momentum here. So maybe, you never know, he could string a few racks together after this, and Aloysius will be really feeling the heat.
Yeah, we are fully expecting Aloysius will mount a comeback, so now's the time for AJ Manas. This is it, right here. We used to say in the U.S. you have to make hay while the sun shines. And the sun is certainly shining right now on AJ Manas. Up 4-3, looking soon to go up 5-3. Winner breaks, race to 10. It's time to put them racks together.
Just landed a little bit on the wrong side of the 7-ball. So I think that he would be just rolling the cue ball down and settling for a long shot on the 9-ball. Just weighing it up now, evaluating his options. Go around the rails, and he's landed a little funny on that 9-ball.
Little tester here. This is indeed a tester because of the score line. This is where he has to make it happen. He cannot let Yap off the hook. He did it. Not even a question. Boy, this kid's got talent. 16 years old, AJ Manas from Antipolo City in the Philippines. Not phased at all by the circumstances here. TV table in Singapore, the home country of his opponent, Aloysius Yap. Yap, one of the hottest players in the world at the moment. But right now, all the momentum on the side of AJ Manas.
I must say that this performance has been quite spectacular so far.
Really impressed.
The fact that he's not letting his opponent get in his head is really a commendable thing. It's something that pros have to deal with so often, and it's probably the hardest part, this mental aspect. So the fact that he's got that dialed down, it just shows that he's on the right path. He's almost there to becoming one of the top pros in the world.
It's got a nice that shirt he's wearing. Is that his picture on the shirt?
It certainly looks so.
That's a bit unusual, isn't it? He's got a big picture of his face. Yeah, look at that. He actually moved the cue ball to the other side of the box, and he finds success with that break. One down, the one ball, and the orange 5 is also down. 2 balls in.
So he's got a real tester on the 2 ball right here. But with the 3 hanging over the pocket, he just needs to focus on making it.
Oh, yeah. AJ. What's going on, young man? He's like letting the arm out now.
These are worrying signs for Aloysius. If I was Aloysius, I'll be feeling that, oh, this is not good. This is not looking good for me. He could be calling a timeout after this wreck.
I would imagine that the timeout is coming. That's a little tactic that a lot of the players use. You know, you're generally allowed 1 timeout a match. I think here they do allow them more than 1, but sometimes it's, you know, that timeout. It's not just to head to the men's room, which they do, but it's just to sort of change up the vibe. Get out of the arena for a few minutes and then come back, and hopefully the vibe changes.
Yes.
But right now there's nothing that Yap can do because there's a winner breaks format. And Manas is in total control.
So he's fallen a little bit flat on the 7 ball. He would want to have more angle on this, but it's still makeable. Brilliant stroke there.
Doesn't seem to phase him, does he? Just makes the adjustment.
Also a little bit straight on the 8 ball, so he's got to let out the stroke a little bit to get down to the 9. He's really in the groove on Ted.
Wow. This is something. So that's 6 racks.
Looks
Rather,
like
5 in a row.
looks
5
like that our score
racks
prediction.
in a row for AJ Manas. Imagine that. And it's not been all break and runs. That was a break and run. But he's shown a lot of billiard IQ in the safeties. He's shown a lot of fortitude in his shot making. He's not phased at all. And here he is. Winner breaks. He's shooting again. Still a long way to go, though. This is a race to 10. And just as the match turned in rack number 5 with that missed 3 ball by Aloysius Yap, it can also turn just as quickly back the other way.
Aloysius is more than capable of putting 5 or 6 together.
Well, he's got the 1 ball down. He's going to have a shot on the 2, I believe. Looks like it.
But fortunately for Aloysius, the 3 and the 8 are tied up.
Yes, that's the one you have to. He can make the 2, but the 3, as you see, look at it, marry up against the 8. So that will be the problem ball for 8. The red 3.
So Aloysius looking a little bit dejected in his chair there, thinking about all the mistakes that he's had.
Yeah, you think he looks a bit uncomfortable. He knows the sport of pool at this level, sometimes you just got to ride out the rough patches, wait for your opportunity.
Oh, what a shot played
Oh,
by
come on.
What a shot played by
Come on, folks. You're looking at a strong 16-year-old. Look at this. That's with total confidence. He busted up that little stir, and now the table is open. Dare I say, if he gets to 7, well, you can sort of see the finish line. It's there. It's not totally there, but I mean, this is incredible.
Well, that's when the pressure really kicks in, right? When you can see the finishing line. You're almost there.
That's right.
That's where the pressure, when it kicks in, the arm gets a little bit tighter.
We're not going to get too excited, but this is fun.
He's got a little bit of a good flick there over the 7 ball. So you can really see that the balls are running in favor of AJ Manas, but of course he certainly has earned that privilege by playing the way he's been playing.
He is rolling along. 2 break-and runs in a row for 16-year-old AJ Manas, going up against one of the top players in the world, in Aloysius Yap. And he's in control of the table. He's in control of his emotions. He's playing the better pool. What a story this is. Still, though, as my partner here, Gabriel, said, these are the hardest racks right here. The hardest points to get, the last few.
Yes, always the hardest.
We'd like to thank our trade sponsors here at the TE Capital Nineball Championship, Kamui Tips and Chalk. The Q Shop here in Singapore, billiards trade sponsor. Also like to thank our commercial sponsors, Arbor, Sinsu Lee, Sunray, and of course we'd like to thank all the folks here at this wonderful venue, Airport, the Harborfront Mall, the Aspire Recreation Center. So our players have decided to take a break, as we predicted. That was probably initiated by Aloysius Yap, trying to change up the momentum, do anything to get back in this match. Lots of action going on our outside tables. We'll take a short break, and when the players come back in just a minute, we'll be right back with the continuation of this very entertaining match. So that it didn't take long. Now back up at the table, trying to extend his lead to 5. AJ Manas. Oh, he's got the break there. He's got the 9. Oh, the 9 very nearly went in. And now it's sitting there right over the pocket. Does the 2 pass? He's getting down to look at it. It appears some sort of gap. Boy, that's a hanger right there. Oh, yeah. He'll be going after that. There it is. An absolute layup. And all of a sudden, it is 8-3. Yes, you're looking at, that's not a mistake. 8-3. The 2-9 combination. Gabriel, you didn't even have a chance to get back quick enough from your break to the men's room to see that. The 9 was hanging over the pocket after the break shot, and the 2 was right in line. Here, you'll see it again. There you go, kicking that 9, as Gabriel mentioned, that they try to kick that 9, and you know, one of the reasons is to perhaps get that golden break, but hey, that's just as good right there.
Yes. That's the benefits that come along with having a very good break that AJ Manas has.
He does have a great break. He hasn't changed his demeanor, his emotions at all this entire match. Again, he was down 1-0, tied it up at 1. He was down 2-1, tied it up at 2. Then he took his first lead. Rack number 5, 3-2. Yap tied it up at 3. And then from there, he's won 5 straight.
I think that this game so far, AJ Manas has been the better player, right? I mean, he's only missed 1 ball in the 6th rack. And other than that, he's done no wrong. He's won all the safety exchanges.
Yeah, a near flawless effort by AJ Manas. Again, I know you might have heard me say it, he's only 16 years old. Look at that, the 1 down.
And the 2 settled.
And there's a shot on the 2. I believe the 3 will pass at the top of the table. Pass by the 8. There's still some work to do here. He's muddling the pressure. I mean, outwardly it doesn't look like he is, but come on, he's 2 away from a massive upset. And to take down Yap in Singapore. Ooh, that's huge. Surely the butterflies are churning inside.
Yes.
Can he hold his nerve? Oh,
He's overran for the 3 there.
well, a little too much adrenaline maybe. And you can see there, he knows it.
But fortunately for him, he's in a very good position to play a very tight safety on the Aloysius.
Oh, nicely done.
And at this point, Aloysius can't really afford to give up ball in hand for his opponent to run out. Because one more rack and he's on the hill.
Vital that he makes contact here. He does, but where will it end up?
He's left a 3-7 combination, which is very makeable. But you know, you never know with combinations where 3 is going and where the cue ball is going.
That was a nice touch. He's really got a touch, doesn't he? He's got a feel.
I think one of the reasons why he's just underrun there a little, but one of the reasons why he's so in stroke, he's so comfortable, I think it's got to do with his run in the tournament so far. He's played 2 very tough players in Ko Po Cheng and Lu Hui-chen, who has just come off a big tournament victory. So, you know, those aren't easy players to play against. And they certainly help in the confidence and in getting in stroke.
Wow. Just amazing to watch. Could have easily slipped up on that shot. That was a bit of a tester at this stage. This is what we talked about earlier, the pressure, the great equalizer, but looks like he's having pressure for lunch here. Wow. What would this mean? You're from Singapore. What would this mean for Yap to be knocked out in the round of 32?
Of course, it's a bit disappointing.
Especially by a, not a real name here. We're not talking about, the Ko Pin Yi, Ko Ping Chung or Johan Chua here. We're talking about AJ Manas, someone that not many people have heard of. There it is. He moves to 9-3 on the hill, meaning one away from a spot in the final 16. And this against one of the best players in the world, the hometown hero, Aloysius Yap. This is the story of the tournament so far, by far.
As a Singaporean, it's kind of disappointing. But, I mean, that's the way the game is, right? Anything can happen. And with reference to that, this game is still not over yet.
It's not over yet.
Especially with the winner breaks format, anything can happen. So the next thing Aloysius will just be hoping for is to get a chance. Just a chance to even get another on the board.
Chalking up his very last break. Albert AJ Manas from Antipolo City in the Philippines. He's an 11th grader. Next week he'll be back in school. He said he wants to finish high school, which goes up to 12th grade in the Philippines, and then he wants to, commit full time to playing professionally. I'd say that's a good idea.
He certainly has a bright future ahead of him.
Oh, see, here we go. Now he doesn't make the one. Anything down? No.
I think that was a mixture of a bad break and not very tight racking. As you can see, the 9-ball just went down the table immediately upon contact. So not too good from the referee there.
I mean, it's a template rack. Shouldn't it all the balls be together?
Well, at least that's what it was designed for.
All right, what does Aloysius do here?
I think he's looking for a safety behind the 4-ball. Oh, he's underran that by a lot.
It's just all gone south.
So it really seems that Aloysius hasn't really settled into this game.
Yeah, I mean, that's a glaring error. He had a lot of room there to maneuver to get that cue ball in a lockdown position, but he left it wide open for Manas.
He seems to be struggling a lot with the speed of the table.
Yes.
Oh,
this is a huge error.
That was almost amateurish from AJ Manas.
Can you close the question? We talked about it earlier in the match. It doesn't matter if there's a break box or not, if the pockets are buckets. Can you handle the pressure? Right now, AJ Manas in this rack clearly has folded from the pressure with those shots right there. That was not good.
Yes.
I mean, he's performed incredible up to this point, but getting across that finish line. See, now this could really affect him moving forward, assuming that Yap can get this rack clear this. If Manas does get a chance at the table, he'll be thinking about that.
Well, this isn't an easy rack to clear.
No.
This 2 to the 3 will be the key shot in this rack. He's got a nice flick on the 3 ball there. So what Aloysius really needs to do is he has to clear this rack. Oh, but it's a process, and it has happened many times, in fact. When SVB won the World Nineball Championship, he was down 10 racks to 3 against Mika Immonen. So, you never know. You never know. In fairness to Aloysius, he hasn't really done anything too bad. He's missed a couple and played a few loose safety shots, but other than that, it's all been AJ Manas.
His shot making has been loose, though. And that's allowed Manas to grab some racks, but you know, it's really been hats off to Manas, because it's one thing to get a chance. He's capitalized on those chances. So finally, Yap on the brink of disaster. He's going to get one back here. 9-4. He staves off defeat for the moment.
So Ted, with all the last 32 games over, everybody should be crowding around this table. Do you think that benefits Aloysius, or it benefits AJ Manas?
Well, right now, even though Manas is up comfortably 9-4, the momentum just swung back. That's a huge momentum swing right there. I guarantee you that Manas is still thinking about that scratch. He had 2 very poor shots in this previous rack. It's been about 30 minutes since Yap took a point. 9-4 winner, so you're never out of it. The longer he can keep Manas in his chair, the more doubt will creep into Manas's mind whether he can finish this off. Oh no.
He still hasn't gotten that break.
No.
And it's a chance for AJ Manas to close out the game here.
This is it. Again, has to put that mistakes of the last rack out of your mind. Easier said than done. Lots of work to do, as you can see.
So this first shot is really tricky. He's got it. Wow, that's a very good shot from AJ Manas there. Under the circumstances, that was fantastic. Bouncing back after that scratch he had in the previous rack.
Doesn't appear to be too many problems here. Once he gets past this 2 ball. Boy, the adrenaline must be pumping inside right now for AJ Manas. And that is what he's going to have to try to temper.
He's landed on the 3. The 4 is right next to it, so he doesn't really have to do too
And
much.
the
on
5
cue
is right
ball.
down there. So 6 is waiting there. It's all there.
So just a little bit of a score update from the last 32. We have had a big upset with European Open runner-up
Wait.
Anton Raga.
Wow, he overhit that a little bit. And look, he's going to, now he has to pull out the rest. You could see he wasn't happy with that.
Many players aren't very comfortable with this rest.
He does not look
He
comfortable
doesn't
right
look
now
comfortable
at
Espe-
all.
Bridging over the 6 and the 9 there. But I still favor him to make it. It's quite a makeable shot.
He's still got to get position on the 6. It's wide open, the 6. Got to make the 5 first. Oh, it didn't go. This is unbelievable.
That's big.
That's what happens when you get out of position. It's a slippery slope in pool. Oftentimes you see this from players. They don't make it back after losing the position, and whoa.
That's a big stare from AJ Manas.
Can he close it out? That's the question. I know the question is going through his mind. He's questioning himself right now. He's in total control here. He's up 9-4 in a race to 10. But he is under serious duress.
I think it's finally creeped into his mind that, oh, I'm going to beat Aloysius Yap in Singapore.
You can't think like that until the match is actually over.
Yeah. So,
Oh, no.
Aloysius.
No.
What happened to Aloysius this game? It's just not gone. Anything has not gone his way. He just seems to be a different person
Yeah,
today.
he had a lot of room to work with there. There's no reason for that. Now what? Come on, Gabriel.
I'm,
Put yourself in his shoes.
I'm speechless. I want Aloysius to do well, but
Yeah,
it's
you
just-
don't like to see that,
Yeah.
obviously.
I mean, but he's just hasn't played well. I think he's just looking to have a good contact with the 6 ball and getting as much distance as possible.
Distance.
That's all he can
That's right.
afford to do.
Oh, no.
This is not good.
I mean, that is... Did he try to pot that? What was he doing there?
I
What was he
couldn't tell.
thinking?
I couldn't tell because the speed was totally off, and
I mean, that was completely off. No matter what, if he tried to pot it, he didn't hit it enough. Where's the safety there? There was no distance.
that was.
Couldn't quite figure that one out.
I think that he's just all over the place now mentally.
Yes, he's very much out of sorts. Okay, but this isn't over yet. Should be over.
Yes, I think that AJ Manas would certainly clear up these balls here. Playing 1 reel for the 9.
So this 9 goes. This will be a monumental upset in the world of pool. AJ Manas, just 16 years old, takes down one of the hottest players in the world, Singapore's very own Aloysius Yap. 10-4. And it wasn't easy at the end there for Manas, but it also wasn't easy for Yap, and that allowed Manas to limp across the finish line there at the end, and he gets the famous victory. Your thoughts, Gabriel?
Well, disappointing from a Singaporean's perspective. We all wanted Aloysius to win this tournament in his home ground, but I'm not taking anything away from AJ Manas. What a performance, what a showing there from the 16-year-old to pull off a monumental upset against Aloysius Yap.
That's right. The most for 98% of that match, Manas played brilliant. It was just there at the end, he stumbled.
Yes.
And I'm sure, you know, that'll do something confidence, you know, that, hey, he did close it out, even though he was helped in closing it out by just a poor effort on that bank shot on the 6-ball.
And Aloysius has a lot to reflect upon. I think going to the next tournament, he will be working a lot of things, and AJ Manas just has to keep up the good work.
Yeah, that was very disappointing. Very disappointing for Yap. So yeah, that had a massive disappointment for Aloysius Yap. But he'll have plenty of time to think about that as he exits the TE Capital Nineball Championship. Albert AJ Manas, the 16-year-old 11th grader from the Philippines, moves on to the final 16. And we're going to have a word with the youngster, a very happy AJ Manas, when we come back after this.
Experience the pinnacle of billiard excellence with our precision-crafted cloth, trusted by champions worldwide. Engineered for flawless play, it's the surface that elevates your game. From professionals to enthusiasts, discover a world where mastery meets innovation. Explore our range of colors and textures to express your unique style. Elevate your game with us. Visit our website today at www.cpbabrand.com.
You don't have to play like a pro to enjoy the game I love.
If you've ever played in a friend's basement, you can compete in an APA league. In the APA, everyone can play and anyone can win. So if you're looking for a fun night out with your friends and family, join an APA pool league today.
Have fun, meet people, play pool.
Visit poolplayers.com today.
To the round of 16. Now, AJ, we've seen that 6 racks in a row, 5 racks in a row, getting to 9 wins first. Then when you hit the 2-9 combination, what was going through your head? Would you think that this title or the win would be yours? Nung natamaan mo yung 9, yung 2-9, naisip mo na ba panalo na ba ito?
Yeah, I think I can win the match because the balls are pinapaboran ako ng bola. Ayun, kaya naisip ko na I can win the match.
He thought he could win the match because the balls were falling in his favor. But that wasn't the case, of course, when you scratched on the one, you gave an opportunity to Aloysius, and he got 2 in a row. And then you missed the 5 ball again. What was going through your mind when you missed the 5 ball? Nung nagbintis ka na 5, ano nang naisip mo nun?
Sabi ko na lang, hayaan ko na lang, mag-focus na lang ako sa susunod na game para makuha ko na yung huling game para manalo.
Then Aloysius, of course, had to go through a problem with his positional shot. When he missed, did you feel a lot better now?
Gumaan yung pakiramdam ko dahil medyo konti lang yung bola, kaya-kaya ko nang ubusin.
He said he knew he was going to win right after that. Now, of course, moving into the final 16, what are the thoughts now? Umabot ka na rito sa sa quarterfinal round. Ano na naisip mo?
Masaya na ako dahil malayo na rin yung top 16, malaki na din yung malaking bagay na din yung para sa akin kasi bago pa lang naman ako sumasali sa mga international tournaments.
He says it's a big deal for him to make it to the final 16, and he's going to do his best. Now, pagkakataon mo ng bumate, a chance for you to greet everybody back home, especially your relatives watching right now.
Maraming salamat dyan sa family ko, sa lolo ko, sa lola ko, sa lahat ng pamilya ko, and sa sponsor ko, kay Boss Bembem, pati sa kay Boss Edrin. Yun lang, salamat.
Congratulations, AJ Manas, through to the round of 16. Gentlemen.
Thanks very much, Noel. And you heard him there. He actually said thank you first to his grandfather and grandmother, the Lolo and Lola, back in the Philippines. It was his grandfather that taught him the game when he started playing at 7 years old. And Lolo taught him extremely well. He just took down one of the top players in the world and a hometown favorite here in the round of 32, Aloysius Yap, and by an astonishing scoreline of 10-4. It's a little rough there at the end, but he managed to limp across the finish line and get the job done. So it's AJ Manas of the Philippines, just 16 years old. He's into the round of 16, and Aloysius Yap is out. So we have more to come here at the Aspire Recreation Center at the Harborfront Center in Singapore. And our next match coming up in just a short while will be Mickey Kraus of Denmark versus Ko Pin Chung of Chinese Taipei. We'll see you shortly. And welcome back to the TE Capital Nineball Open Championship here at the Aspire Recreation Center in the heart of exciting Singapore. Ted Lerner joined by Eddie Rivera for our next match here in the final 32, the round of 32. This will determine who is in our round of 16. And we got a good one for you. We've got the number 4 ranked player on the World Nineball Tour rankings, Ko Ping Chung. I think you could say fairly he is the hottest player out there right now.
Yeah,
there is. There is nobody playing better than him. And he'll be taking on Denmark's Mickey Kraus there. And the players will lag. It's a winner breaks format. And how do you see this match playing out? I mean, obviously, Mickey's an underdog. What does Mickey have to do to be competitive here?
Well, he's been playing strong all tournament long, so he's definitely got a shot. And he's actually been playing strong for the last, several months. So he's definitely got a shot. Of course, as you mentioned, Ko Ping Chung is going to be the favorite. Probably a couple racks favorite, but honestly, if Mickey, stays the way he's been playing this tournament, plays his game, he's got a shot.
We saw in our last match, AJ Manas, a heavy underdog to Aloysius Yap and won 10-4. So you never know. A player comes out, and we expected right from the beginning that Yap would come out because he was in stroke. He'd been playing all over the world, and he's been having some really good results. But he was not in stroke.
Yeah, I hate to say it because it wasn't his best performance, but I think more. I want to tip the nod over to AJ because he just played almost a flawless game. Right?
He really did. Well, here you go. I mean, here's a chance right off the bat for Mickey with a dry from Ko Ping Chung.
Yeah.
So obviously you cannot have too many errors. When you get a chance, you have to take advantage of those chances. You have to limit your errors and just hang around sometimes. Just got to be there.
Yeah, exactly.
You were telling me that Mickey has been spending a lot of time in the Philippines, which is a very interesting side note.
Yes, he certainly has. I think he spent, most of his life in Denmark, of course, and winning so many tournaments over there that he was ready for a different challenge, a new challenge. And he's recently moved over to Manila. So he's playing in the Philippines, getting a lot of action games over there. Look at that shot. He's got a nice little kiss off the side pocket and was able to get shaped there for the one. But going back to where he's living now, believe it or not, he's actually living in Jeff DeLuna's house, actually, in Manila. So he's, playing pool all day long, talking about pool with Jeff DeLuna, and I'm sure he's at the top of his game right now.
Well, there is nothing better for a pool player's game than spending time in the Philippines and battling it out with all kinds of people, not just the big names, in the pool halls day and night. And they do spend day and night in the pool halls. It goes all night long, hour after hour, and the action is incredible. I can't tell you how many players I've known over the years, because I do reside in the Philippines, and that have just said, my time here, my few months here have elevated my game like 2 or 3 levels. Something you learn stuff that you would never learn anywhere else. And I always tell players, you want to take your game to the next level, just come to the Philippines, man. It's cheap, it's reasonable, it's a lot of fun, and there's all the action you can handle.
I believe that. All the action you can handle. Bring your pocketbook with you.
That's right.
He's making short work of this table, that's for sure. Already on the 6-ball, pocketing. Now he's on the 7-ball. I mean, we were just chatting for 30 seconds, it feels like, and the rack's almost over.
Yeah. He certainly looks focused.
Absolutely.
This is an ideal start. He didn't win the lag, but Ko with a dry break, and Kraus quickly up, a matter of about 2 minutes. He's leading 1-0. Fine start for the Danish player.
Absolutely. Real short work of that table.
Ko ranked number 4 on the World Nineball Tour rankings. But nobody would dispute the statement that he is the player right now at the moment. Winner of the U.S. Open this year. He's had a lot of fine finishes, winning all sorts of money and events, placing high in other events. Big opportunity for Mickey Krause to play Ko here on the TV tape.
Yeah, absolutely.
Table, you know.
Getting loose a little there, but he looks like he was real loose in the first rack. I mean, just every shot he took maybe 10 seconds or less on. He really didn't, go monitor the table. He just got down, was confident, shot, and potted. I like his game so far.
Players are not allowed to inspect the rack. And you have to break within that box there you see in the center of the table. You can't go to the side boxes there. It has to be within that center box. And they're shooting to get that one ball, the yellow one at the top of the rack, into the side. So you can see he's going for that side, but there he missed. And that's another dry break. So this is a chance now for Ko to get one back.
Dry break in a pretty open table. He's got a shot on the one. Of course, getting his shape on the two. Yeah, it looks fairly easy, actually. Let's see who wins this rack. Of course, I can say fairly easy from here, but, it's much different when you're at the table, right?
Yeah. Well, this is the kind of rack, but the ball's all over the different ends. You can really let the stroke out.
Absolutely. One thing I've noticed about Ko Ping-chung's game, though, is he generally doesn't. He likes to keep the cue ball as minimal as possible. He doesn't let the cue ball fly so much. Like even this, you can see a little bit of a frustration on his face because the cue ball did fly a little bit, right? He did kind of let the stroke out a little bit more than I think he's used to or accustomed to. I think that it provides dividends to his game when you just let the cue ball kind of move and glide gently as opposed to forcing it all the way back and forth down the table. Yeah, to me, that's what makes him such a special player.
His older brother, Ko Pin-yi, with a big win over the Philippines, very talented Jeffrey Ignacio. 10-1.
Ooh. Wow.
Nearly a whitewash. You can always count on the Ko brothers to go far in just about any event they enter. Along with a lot of the other players like Chang Yu Lung and others. Some of them aren't here at this event, but from Chinese Taipei. One of the best pool playing nations in the world.
It would be interesting if we have a head-to-head for the Ko brothers, right? If we see a finals of Ko Ping-chung and Ko Ping-yi, wouldn't that be something?
Somehow it'd be, I've seen that before. That's oftentimes a bit disappointing because, it's just how, I don't know. It's when brothers play each other for the title. It's basically, they've already got the title,
It doesn't have the same Serena and Venus kind of feel to
even
it?
that. I don't think you'd want to, I don't think people like to see that. Can't quite be the same fire and intensity when siblings play each other in a final.
Yeah, I get that. So you end up on the wrong side of the 7, but it's no problem. You'll just come around 2 rails, as you see. Get on the right side of or left side of the 8 ball and make short work of this this game as well. Beautiful stroke.
So each player taking advantage of the dry break.
Yep.
And grabbing a rack. This is just a formality. Put the extension on. One apiece. This is our round of 32. The knockout stages. We've been here for a few days. Started with 128 players from 15 nations. And we are sure to see some fascinating matchups as we move the money rounds. It all concludes tomorrow here at the Aspire Recreation Center in the Harbor Front Center in Singapore.
Yeah, as we talked about, there's so many top Filipino players here in this tournament, and they're still in the final 16, right? So we've got Johan Chua and Marvin Assis playing right now. That should be a good one on table 7. Surprisingly, though, Marvin is taking a quick lead on Johan, 3-0. Also, James Aranis and Michael Bonanan, he's playing, and James Aranis up 3-0 on this one as well.
So a lot of all Filipino matchups here.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we also covered Long Dok Dien earlier today, and he's playing now against Albert Manas, so he's still rolling through. He made it through the losers bracket all the way back up, right? And on table 25, he's down 2-0, but he's a strong young player.
AJ just coming off the huge win off a Yap.
That's right.
So he's in fine form.
Yeah, he is.
That one.
Another dry break.
Missing again. Kraus quickly out of his seat.
Oof. That 8-ball just got in the way. Oh, he's electing to go for the jump here. So close.
I've seen that a number of times here where the shelf on those pockets is pretty deep and balls just get stuck there. Looks like it's going.
Yeah.
Just stopped.
And the shot was actually quite beautiful too, to put the spin, left spin on it, to also get shape for the 2-ball, if you can see. So had he caught that, he would have been in nice form to run the rest of the rack out.
That's showing some pretty good technique there, not to be able to jump and consider the position for the next ball.
Yeah.
So he's got his regular cue. He's jacking up there.
Wow, look at that shape. Look at the shot. Beautiful. Not only with the 9, as you said, but to get shape 2 rails, or 3 rails actually.
Yeah, when that deep in the pocket, it's your cue ball is going to run. There's not a lot to hit there. And he got in perfect position, and that opens things up. 2 in the corner, 3 is up table, 4 is right in the middle. So what a beautiful shot. Sometimes that's what it is. Just one good shot can open up a rack of 9-ball, and you're off to the races.
Yeah, I've got a feeling these 2 players, you're not going to see too many mistakes, right? It's just about who's going to take advantage of the opportunities given. Maybe not necessarily a mistake. You might see some dry breaks here and there, but the way these 2 are playing, it's top form from here on out. You want to put a little inside spin there to kill the cue ball so he has a good shot on the 3. You want to just glide the cue ball to the left, and he may come 1 rail, but want to be center table for the 4-ball after that, I believe. Really nice. See, he just lets the cue ball glide. Doesn't really force it over. Just this barely moves a little bit. It's a really nice touch.
Complete mastery of the cue ball. And one of the main reasons why he is a favorite nowadays in any event he enters. He doesn't look too fearsome.
He doesn't look too
Trust me.
fearsome.
No, he doesn't. I mean, he's the most soft-spoken. diminutive. Just nice guy. Just the Coes are they're all nice guys.
They really are. You know, they've been taking pictures with fans, you know, signing autographs left and right. You know, I gotta say, I even got a picture myself.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, like you said, just the nicest, especially when they're at the top of a game like that. That just speaks volumes of who they are and their character. To still take pictures with the fans.
Well, you have to be humble because this is a humbling sport. It's not you don't often stay at the top for long.
Very true.
Although, having said that, the Coe brothers they've been on for a while, and they've been successful for a while, long time. They got talent. And then they got the young Koping Nan, the youngest one who's coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. So Coe brothers are not going away anytime soon, right?
No, no. They seem to be getting better.
I think so.
2-1 now in favor of Ping Chung. Nicely done in opening up the table. Mickey Kraus, his opponent from Denmark, won a number of Danish national championships, but basically had wanted to take his game to that next level. And as we talked about earlier, he's been doing that by hanging out in the Philippines, which there is no better place to improve your game than the Philippines. So it's a winner breaks format, World Nineball Tour rules. 9 on the spot, breaking from this break box in the middle of the table. So pay attention to that yellow one at the top of the rack. Going for the side pocket. Again.
Yeah.
Misses a mark on that one. And a dry break.
Yeah. What is this, rack number 4? We've seen 4 strikes? Wow.
Usually the Coe brothers, they practice this break religiously. So what do you think is the reason, and what do you have to do to fix it? What do you try to do as a player? Just move the ball around, or take a little bit off, or put a little more on it, or?
All the above, as you just said, is things you can do. But you can also maybe not do anything different. Just stick to what you normally do, right? Because like you said, they practice this over and over and over. So, you know, sometimes at a tournament like this, you don't want to change things up too much, right? You just want to be consistent and play what you're used to. So I don't know if I would change anything, right? I think I might just stick with the script. Mm-hmm. Stick with what got you here.
Good advice. Safety from Kraus. Looks like he wants to kick this one up table.
Yeah, I think so. He's got a couple options. Obviously, he can jump, but you can see a slither of the ball as well. He might go behind. No, you can see a slither of the one. He's just going to use that ever so gently and try and use the defense behind the 6. Yep. Nicely done. That's the thing when you start off the match with a defense, or you always got to think about, what is my opponent going to do back to me? Are they going to have a better defense in this one? Because at this point, he's kind of trapped here. You know, you can do the 1-rail kick and make a successful hit, but it's not going to pot. You have to get pretty fortunate to make a ball here.
And then after you make the hit, even if you're just trying to make the hit, where do you end up?
Exactly.
You know, so first things first, got to make contact.
There it is.
Oh, I think he got lucky there. Just got behind the round 7. go.
Yeah.
That's why you play a safety. So it's on for Mickey Kraus.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't say anything before that shot, because honestly, I would have fancied him to make that one. His jumping is so, his jumping ability is so strong, right? You know, you see him make these jumps time after time again. But, you know, again, it's not going to be 100%, right? So you got to take with the defenses when you have the opportunity and hope your opponent makes a mistake, which Mickey just did. So hopefully he capitalizes. Mickey. What's going on here?
Extension. He's a tall guy, but he needs his extension.
I was just
to
thinking
reach
the
this
same
shot.
thing. I walked right past him earlier. Now I had to look up. He is a tall guy, so I'm a bit surprised he had to get this extension, but pays off. Ooh, running a little fast here.
Ooh, so
yeah,
he's straight on that 3. The 4 is right there.
Yeah, he's just going to try and push it out to the right a little bit by putting a little force on it to, yeah, just like that. It doesn't need to be perfect. Wants a little bit of an angle, but needs to be able to pot the 4 as he did, right? But yeah, being straight is never a good thing when you're trying to get shaped for a ball.
He certainly is not intimidated.
No.
He's been playing against all these Filipinos.
It's true.
It's paying off. He's thinking, you know what? As long as I'm at the table, this is my match.
Absolutely.
He is. You can tell by the way he's walking around the table. You can tell by the look on his face. His stroke appears confident.
And he's not second guessing himself. Like he's taken maybe just a few seconds every shot. He knows how to play the shot. He gets down, he shoots it with confidence. I love his game right now. Yeah, he's not second guessing himself on any of these shots.
Well, he hasn't made a ball on the break yet, so let's see here after this 9-ball. If he does, maybe he can, if he gets the breakdown, maybe he can get in the lead and pad it a little bit. Put some heat on Ko. Mickey Kraus from Denmark ties it up at 2 apiece.
Yeah, that was a nice shot. The window between 2 and the 9 was quite narrow, so to get the shape for the 2 like he did was really pretty. And of course, the straight-on shot for the 3 to the 4 was also another key shot to this match.
This is the TE Capital 9-ball championship. Brought to you by TE Capital, Asian Pool Federation APF, and the commercial arm of APF, Asian Pool Promotions. Part of the Matchroom World 9-ball Tour, and this event has ranking points for the World 9-ball Tour. So you win this event, you get points towards that tour, which can lead to invites and slots in some of these larger events that Matchroom is promoting around the world. That can do wonders for your career. There you go. The 1-ball down. So the 2-ball is down. A shot 3. You could not ask for anything better. And this has got to be confident big time.
Absolutely. If you can get a break clear here, go up 3-2. Yeah, absolutely. That's confidence building. He looks so calm, collected. Even though he's playing against number 4 ranked in the world, doesn't matter, it seems like.
Big difference too between playing on an outside table and playing on a TV table. This is, you know, it's just different atmosphere. You know, you're on TV. You know, and you're exposed here. You know, if you play bad, you embarrass yourself. You do it in front of, like, you know, all these people watching from all over. You know, you play in the corner of the room, nobody's watching, so there's less pressure. So this is great for him.
Absolutely.
And he's clearly confident in his ability to win this match.
You can also look at it a different way. If you didn't know about Mickey Krause now, you might know about him now after this, right?
Yeah.
He's putting on a performance right now, especially if he can pull out the victory. I think there'll be a few more people knowing who he is.
Now, he's a serious player. Listen,
Yeah.
anybody who gives it up, the comforts of home, comes halfway around the world, comes to a place like the Philippines, one of the greatest places in the world to play pool, some of the best players in the world, those you've heard of, and thousands more you haven't heard of, and you go play the money games and all the action day in and day out, night in and night out. I give it a big tip of the hat to this young man. That takes a lot of guts, and you can already know that he takes this seriously. You're not there to joke around when you're playing in these money games in the Philippines. This is serious business.
Absolutely.
Because the Filipinos take it very seriously. I mean, you could play for $500, and it's serious.
Yeah.
To them.
It's serious, but it's also serious to these guys because, you know, guys like me and you, we can play for a few bucks on the side, but we have a day job, right? This is their day job.
Yeah.
If they don't make the money in the money games, you know, maybe they don't eat that week, right?
That's right. So Mickey Krause, clearly, you look at his backstory, you look at how he's played here, he means business. And he's up 3-2 on Ko Ping Chung. Race to 10, winner break. So he'll be breaking in rack number 6.
He's ready.
He is ready.
Just so
He's
calm.
just like, you know, like, come on, ref.
Yeah,
give me the cue ball. It's a template rack. It shouldn't be difficult.
So I'm ready to break and run already. Come on, give me the cue ball.
So he had his first break where he made a ball in the last rack. Can he replicate that? There it is.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's got a shot on the 2, the blue 2. That's an ideal break. He's look at this control on the cue ball. Hits the 1 in and then brings the 1 off the cue off the side into the 9 ball. And that helps control the cue ball, the shot on the 2. Ideal, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, he just wants to make sure his cue ball doesn't travel too far because it is a thin cut and the cue ball is liable to go up table. If he puts a little inside spin, it should kill this momentum of the ball. Oh, he elected to not do that and to go around the whole table, right? So it's the other option to do. Means he feels confident with the stroke is what that means. The way he's playing, absolutely. I think he looked at that shot for about 8 seconds, which is the most he's done for anything so far, right?
Well, there's the first mistake we've seen from Mickey.
Yeah.
He missed that by a mile.
Yeah.
Well, what do you attribute that to? I mean, it wasn't even close.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it wasn't close, but
You didn't like the shot selection before that. You thought maybe he should have gone.
I thought it killed. Yeah, killed the cue ball and maybe
softer hit.
Softer hit, exactly right. And he ended up sending the cue ball down table, made it a longer shot for the 3 ball. Definitely one I expected him to make. But you know what I attribute it to, probably just trying to get a good shape for the 4 and just taking the mind off of the shot of the 3 ball a little bit. It's a shot that I bet he would make 9 times out of 10, but this one time he missed, right?
So Ko Ping Chung will go safe. It's got to go. Looks like he can see the whole ball.
Well, I think the 8 ball might be covering a slither of the cue ball. No, yeah, you can see it. You're right. Oh, he missed. Missed. Wanted to get behind the 4. Missed that. He put a little bit of inside spin there, but not enough to really hold the cue ball. Now you can see the 3. He can play a 2-way shot here, or he can just go for defense. Yeah, he's looking at the bank and seeing if he wants to go two-way.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thought he might get a kiss off the cue ball and pot that by accident, but now it's open for Kraus. Chance to extend his lead.
I'd like to see Ko come back and, you know, regain himself a little bit. That was a bit of an uncharacteristic miss, I think. You know, he just went for the bank. It wasn't a 2-way. He just went straight for it and missed it, you know, pretty badly, actually.
What's going on this TV table? We have all the heavy favorites not playing their best pool. And the other guys who are big underdogs playing really good. And
Yeah, you mentioned about AJ Manas. You know, he's off to a guns blazing start, up 5-0 against his opponent right now. 6-0 actually. Look at that.
Wow.
He is on fire.
boy, I was mightily impressed with what I saw from him. But look what happened here.
Got a little kiss on the 6, and it just pushed it out of the way from his original plan. Now he's got to rethink.
Not sure about that.
Yeah. I don't mind the attempt. You know, he could have sent the 6 ball down table, but he ended up just trying to use the 8. And it looks like he did. I mean, he does have the 8 ball covering most of the 6, but I'm pretty sure Ko can either come off the rail for this or just play a safety himself. He's got options. Yeah, going back again to AJ, you said you're mightily impressed. You know, I made this comment to somebody earlier. It's almost discouraging for us, you know, amateur players about, gosh, he's only 16. He's that good. You know, I've been playing for more than 16 years, and I'm not that good.
Right. I mean, in the Philippines, these guys, when they get to the take to the game, it becomes their entire life. Although credit to him, he did say he wants to finish his high school education. He's in 11th grade. He got time. He had to ask for time off to come here. He'll be back in school next week. He's in 11th grade. He said he wants to finish in 12th grade, and then he's going to go full time into pool.
Wow.
So look out.
Absolutely.
World.
You know, there's so many Filipino players that you hear this, oh, he's the next up and coming. He's the next Efren Reyes. After what I saw today, I believe it. You know, he is the next up and coming, right?
Nice young man, too. It's all right. So Ko Ping Chung escapes that rack. So a little cracks in the game of Mickey Kraus there, creeping in. Ko taking advantage. 3-all in this race to 10. And it looks like he's going to go take a quick break. And I suppose we'll do the same. So we'll be back in just a few minutes with the continuation of this match here from Singapore. We are back, tied at 3. Ko Ping Chung, number 4 in the World 9-Ball Tour rankings. Current U.S. Open champion. Favorite to win just about every event he enters these days. Took advantage of several errors from Mickey Krause at Denmark in that last rack, so he got that rack and he is breaking now. And again, more breaking troubles for Ko Ping Chung. That's yet another dry break. He has not figured out the break shot in this match.
Yeah, it's a bit surprising. You know, he's quite his solid breaks, his consistency on the breaks as well. But yeah, this he hasn't figured it out. What's that? 4 attempts? Yeah, 4 attempts, 0 for 4. Well, I might be changing my mind here. I said don't change anything, stick to your game plan, but 0 for 4.
You may have to do something else.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Especially if Mickey can capitalize here, right? Like that's gonna start putting some pressure on you and saying, okay, if I dry break, my opponent's gonna run out. So I better not do that, right? It's gonna force you to make some changes at that point. That's nice. Yeah, those shots where the ball's in the pocket look so easy, but you really want to make sure you have an angle and don't end up straight on the 5 like he did. He's left himself a good shot to get a shot on the 6. Really nicely done there. It looks easy, right? But you want to think about the next shot, of course.
Always got to be thinking ahead.
Yeah.
It's not just about the pot. This is how you do it. Jump on a mistake. Another dry break from Ko Ping-chung, and Mickey Krause stands up and clears all the colors. He goes back into the lead. He was down 1-0 to Ko. Tied it up at 1. Then he went into the lead. Ko came back. Went into the lead again. Ko came back, and then he took the lead to here again. So back and forth action.
You know, I wish I put a timer on this because I'm going to say that was about a minute, maybe
Yeah,
less.
he plays very fast.
Yeah.
That's what we call fan friendly. Nothing worse for fans than guys who take forever.
It's true.
It's just brutal. This is the way the game should be played. 4-3 in favor of Mickey Krause. Race to 10. This is a knockout stage. 32 players left. We started with 128. This to get into the final 16. Krause, one of the few non-Asian players here.
Yeah.
There's just, I think, even less than a handful.
That's true. Not very
here.
many at all.
But as we said, if you're just joining us, he's been spending a lot of time in the Philippines learning his trade.
So he's Asian.
Yeah.
He's honorary Filipino.
Yes.
As are you, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
30 years, right?
30 years there? Yeah. Half my life. He's had more success on the break than Ko has. Ko, it's been nothing but frustration.
You know, in some of the earlier matches, the dry breaks or, you know, weren't that crucial, right? It didn't really completely dictate the match. I think in a situation like this, when your opponent's playing so well, you know, as Mickey is, it can be a deal breaker, right? If Ko doesn't figure out.
Oh, yeah. I think if it's probably about the time in the match where Ko's going to have to do something different, maybe move to the other, just try something different. Well,
sure.
Let's see. He's been working on to our right, his left, when he breaks Ko. This is an ideal break right here.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. 1 is down. Shot on the 2, 3, 4. All open.
What I love about that shot too is, you know, he didn't try to get, I say this a lot, but too cute with the cue ball. He just stopped the ball and took the longer shot on the 3 because he knows it's makeable. You know, he
Well, it was open, and was that the commentator's curse?
No, not quite. It was makeable as well.
He should have made this.
Yeah. Oh, and he missed it by about a diamond. Oh. Yeah.
Well, he did that on the same ball a few racks ago. He's made cover, but you don't want to give too many chances to this young man.
Yeah, I got pretty lucky that he didn't.
He did. He got lucky.
Yeah, I mean, going back to my statement, I generally believe that, you know, you don't want to try to force the shot and to get perfect shape because oftentimes you end up missing the shot. And you just want to, like, you know, believe in your abilities and make the longer, harder shot. But that time, Mickey just fell short. You know, he missed it by a whole diamond.
So you're saying that obviously make the shot first. But what do you think a player should focus on? Well, obviously they have to think of the next shot. You have to.
I have to. But, oh, good hit. And watch the cue ball. Oh. Still, it might as well be a scratch, right? It's a very, very...
Yeah. Kraus fortunate. 2 shots in a row here. He glaring miss on the 3, leaves the ball snookered for Ko, who tries to play safe, and now he leaves it open. So another crack at this rack for Mickey Kraus. Again, what were you going to say? You were going back to...
Oh, it's hard to put a percentage on it, but, maybe 50% shot, 50% shape, right? But you don't want to put so much importance on the shape that you end up missing the shot. Yeah. It happens so much times where, we focus too much on the shape because you want to get perfect. Don't have to be perfect, just within your range of making the shot, right? Of the next shot, that is.
For all the 9-ball and other pool I've watched, it's just fascinating to see how the mental side of it, it's like a gymnastics thing in your mind. You have to there's so much you have to think about, but then at the same time, there's so much you have to get out of your mind, get out of your own way.
Yeah. In the short match we've seen so far, it does seem like Mickey's able to do that, right? He's missed a couple balls, but then he comes back and he clears the table like he's doing right now. He does have a short-term memory, which in pool is very important.
Extremely valuable. Nicely done there. Oh. Okay. MK, Mickey Kraus, with 4 in a row. For Mickey Kraus, he was down 2-1. No, he was down 3-2. So yeah, now he's up 5-3. Wow.
Yeah, he's playing well. He's made a couple mistakes.
3 in a row.
3 in a row, yeah. But
3 in a row.
He's made a couple mistakes, but Koping Chung has given him back at the table, right?
Yeah.
He's not capitalized like Mickey has. And of course, the breaks. The breaks are different so far.
Very good accounting of himself here. He's a threat here. He can win this match. Yes. Absolutely. This is an even match. And actually, Kraus up by 2 with the break. A chance to get some daylight here. Still a long way to go. And we'd like to thank our sponsors, equipment sponsors. Rassong Mr. Sung's Acura Pool Table. That's the official table here at the TE Capital 9-Ball Championship. Dynasphere's Palladium Pool Balls, taking us back to the more traditional colors. CPBA Royal Cloth. Perimeter lighting, that's the lighting being used to light up these tables. Ball down, but not a shot to a pocket on the 2.
Going back to the breaks, up here sometimes can get in your own head and you can start thinking, why am I not making a ball in the break? Is it rack or is it the referee racking it? What's going on? But as you can see, Mickey's having consistent side pots. He's making the 1 on the side pot over and over and over. So it's just Koping Chung right now. He's got to do something different. Oh, look at that
great shot.
Wow.
You might want to tell our viewers how difficult those combinations far away from the pocket, like ball's not even close, really. I mean, that's precision.
It really is, because it wasn't straight on. Like you said, there's distance between the 7. Was it the
2 in the
2 in the 8? Yeah, there's definitely distance between it, which makes the shot much more difficult. And on top of that, he kept the 2 ball by the pocket, right? The 2 ball didn't fly away down table. He left himself another shot. So very, very difficult shot.
Look at that. Threading the cue ball through the 6 and the 5. Confidence building. with every shot for Mickey Krause.
Yeah. I mean, the 2-8 combination was definitely one that you have to be confident you're going to make, because if not, you're giving your opponent, Koping Chung, back at the table. And wow. Great stroke there. Wasn't going to be able to hold the cue ball, so he had to come back to the other rail and bounce off to get shape on this side of the 5. That's a beautiful shot.
Look at that stroke. He's just he's feeling it. Dare I say, he's feeling it.
I chuckle because he's the cue ball just barely comes to a stop, and he's almost already down, ready to shoot the ball.
Ready to go. He loves
Yeah.
it. Chomping at the bit.
Exactly.
Mickey Krause now with 4 straight racks. He leads Koping Chung 6-3. Still at the table. Winner breaks format. If he can pull off this upset, he'll be in the final 16 here in Singapore. And all this effort he's been putting in the Philippines, playing all these great players, it's really paying off.
Absolutely. 6-3 right now, right? If you would
6-3.
if you would have told me the final was 10-6 to Koping Chung, I would have said, okay, that sounds about right. But it might be the other way around. You know,
Yeah.
Mickey's playing phenomenal.
Ko is looking sort of like Yap was in the previous match. We're all expecting
He sure is.
any moment, you know, for Yap to, you know, get it together, and he never did.
Well, you rarely see Koping Chung, you know, shook or frustrated. This might be the most I've ever seen him kind of like, he doesn't really have much of a he always has a stoic look on his face, right? Yeah, you can't really read the look, but here you can say he's like, I want to get back to the table. I'm itching to get back to the table, because Mickey hasn't really given him much opportunities.
He is just itching to go. He's had a lot of success here with this break shot. Once again, and he brings that cue ball off the rail into the 9. That sets it up. Higher percentages, and there you go. It's got a shot on the 2. You just he's this is as good as we've seen him.
Absolutely. Very consistent.
See that? He stops that cue ball, runs into the 9, and that gives him the shot on the 2. He's out there. 4's out there. He's just got to execute here, and he will have a commanding 7-3 lead. That was a nice touch.
Absolutely.
What do you do at this point in the match? Look at the score line. You're playing good, but you start to get a little excited. What do you do? I mean, what do you do when that happens to you when you're playing in a tournament, a league match?
It certainly can happen.
What do you tell yourself?
Especially when you're playing somebody of the caliber. Ooh, got a little lucky there. Unfortunately, the leave isn't what he was looking for. You see, he was a little off there. Got a little bit of a rattle on the 4 ball, which made him having a not so fortunate leave on the 5. Going back to your question, when you're playing with a player the caliber of Koping Chung and you're already up 6-3, there's definitely some excitement going through the blood, right? You're definitely like, I'm doing it, right? But you just got to remember, stay calm, and every game, every frame is something different, right? So don't get excited, because when you're playing a player like Koping Chung, he can
This
rattle
is
off.
nothing. Yeah, he can. One mistake, he can keep you parked in your chair.
Yeah, in fact, wasn't it the U.S. Open when he played Fedor? I think he rattled off, 10 racks in a row. I
I
believe
think that was against Yap.
Well, that definitely he did, right? Yeah.
Made 99 straight balls.
Yeah, he definitely did that. I
Oh, and against Federer also.
I think Fedor in the finals, he came back.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so that was impressive. So just like we're saying, when you play a player of that capability, of that caliber, this is a nice lead. But don't get too comfortable, right?
Yeah.
This will be an impressive defense if he can pull it off. Using the bridge, I don't think he's going to take the shot, but I would assume he's going to play safe here. I don't know. He's got such confidence. We'll see. Yeah. Let's see if he gets it. No, he's hoping obviously to hide behind the 6, but he didn't quite get the spin off the cue on the last bounce off the rail he was looking for. It just kind of died there. Did you see that? Yeah.
Yeah. When it came off that rail, it just stopped.
Correct. Yeah. He's shaking his head. He knows the shape on the 4 or the 5 wasn't what he was expecting.
It's a big shot here for Ko.
Mm-hmm.
Tough one. Wow.
He made it look easy.
Yeah, that wasn't easy.
But one more time, he's gonna have to really let the stroke out to get shape on the 7 here.
7 is way up table. There you see, pointing his cue to where he wants to bring the cue ball.
What a shot.
He certainly looks ready to go. He looks ready to like kick it into gear here. It's enough of this.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah, I think it's just the mental ability that these players have to be down 3 racks and think of it as, oh, it's nothing, right? I can come back from this. I've done it before. But for an amateur player, sometimes that can be, devastating. Right?
Yeah.
Hard to come back from 3 racks. Koping Chung can do it. Let's see.
6-4 now. Kraus still with the lead, but it'll be Ko breaking in the next rack. He can stay at the table as long as he keeps winning. Mickey Kraus was motoring along, looking really good. Just as we were talking about, don't get too excited. He had a bad positional play there in that rack. Led to a portion. That led to Ko getting one back. 6-4 now in favor of the Great Dane, Mickey Kraus. One of the few non-Asian players here in the TE Capital Nineball Open Championship here in Singapore.
Well, we've been talking about how important the break is. Let's see if he changes it up a little bit.
Well, yeah, this would be interesting. You got to figure he would have to change it up by now.
Yeah,
Something different. We'd like to thank our trade sponsors, Kamui Tips and Chalks. The Q Shop. That's the place to go to here in Singapore for all your billiards needs.
Absolutely.
The Q Shop. Paul and Dominic. He did change it up.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he's bringing about a whole ball inside the box, moving it over. And
There you go.
He found it. Didn't have the best leave, right? You know, the cue ball traveled quite a bit. Let's see, did it get kicked out? No, it just traveled. He just let the cue ball go a little bit. Unfortunately, he got a little kiss on the sixth ball there to make it even further distance and against the rail. But
So it happens to the cue ball when you move it one ball in, it's going to go the other way. I mean, when they have it on the edge.
it certainly can. Yes, because when you have it on the edge, you're most likely going to come off the side rail and then also hit another ball to kind of keep the cue ball in the center, right? So it's not traveling down the table. But when you bring it over the center, it's liable to move much more. I don't blame him though, right? He had to change something up. He had to.
Well, yeah, he wasn't getting any. He was having one dry break after the next.
And credit to Mickey there a little bit too, because it's one thing if your opponent isn't finishing the rack, but he has been. So you can't give your opponent of this caliber any chances at the table.
That's right. So even though he probably knew that this was going to be the result of the cue ball, he wants to be at the table.
Yeah, exactly. We've mentioned the cue shop a couple times. Yeah, they sell cues, they fix cue tips, they sell cue balls, and they also have tables for rental or so. A lot of the pool halls and pool pubs here in Singapore are supplied by the cue shop.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, it's a great place.
Father and son, Paul and Dominic,
Yeah.
doing a great job here. From the cue shop, they're also organizing this event under the banner of Asian Pool Promotions. Doing a really amazing job here. The Aspire Recreation Center. So safety there from Ko.
I think this is the first time we've seen Mickey use a jump cue. What? Well, wasn't exactly what he was looking for, but he got a little fortunate. The cue ball just completely drifted away from the side pocket, not giving KPC a shot. So they have very different styles, at least it looks like it right now in terms of the speed at which they play, right? Mickey's a very fast player, and KPC's a little more methodical. He's taking his time on this shot, for example. Oh, what a shot.
Wow.
That's beautiful. No wonder why he's taking so much time on that shot, right? That was nice.
Very thin cut, but he's now faced with another difficult shot on the three.
But why I bring that speed up is oftentimes fast frustrated by slow players, right? And then the slow player may pick up on that. Say, I'll take a little extra time. Yeah. So I'm wondering if KPC is using a little gamemanship here, slowing him down. Nice shot.
That is, I believe the cue ball is touching the 7 ball. Wow, where does he go here?
Oof, this is tough.
You have to go up table first.
Well, he might be able to send the cue ball that he's looking right now in between the 6 and come down to shoot. But that angle is really tough. If he does that, he's going to have to come at least 2 rails. Yeah, come 2 rails and he better graze
So
this.
behind the 6 here.
Correct, yeah. Going to be some low right. Because he's going to want the cue ball to spin once it hits the rail. There it does. Nice shot, but that's going to be usually the outcome of a good defense.
What's the old phrase? A good defense is the best offense?
I completely agree with that.
What sport is that not true in? Every sport.
Mm-hmm. I have to say defense wins championships.
It really does. Obviously, you got to have that offense, but if you don't have any defense, it's not going to work.
Yeah. You know, a lot of players, they love the hard shot, whether it's a bank or, you know, whatever the case is. They love that thrill of a hard shot. But I think a good defense is just as sexy.
Oh, it is. Oh, for sure. I mean, that's a perfect example right there.
Yeah.
Great safety. It leads to the ball being open on the next shot. There's nothing that Kraus could do except just make a hit. That left it open, and now Ko Ping-chung off to the races.
And you said it, like, what's a great compliment to a defense is when an analyst or a player says, what do I do? What do you do here, right? That means you did a solid defense. If it takes you an extra second and the opponent is befuddled on how do I solve this puzzle, that means you did a really good defense. Nice shot.
And it appears that that defense is a good confidence booster for Ko Ping-chung. Got a nice flow going now. They're being a bit frustrated in the first half of the match.
I'll say it again, one more, nothing that slows down a fast player than defenses and taking your time, right? Because it'll really mess with your head a little bit saying, gosh, this guy just needs to get me back to the table. Why is he kind of playing defense and defense? It can take a toll on you.
Okay, so now 6-5. Ko gets 2 back, and he's still breaking. Chance to tie it. It's a race to 10. Knockout stage, round of 32. Winner moves on to the final 16. And that was the first break where he, I think that might have been the first one where he actually made a ball. It was total frustration up until the point.
So we've been talking about AJ Manas and how he's been surprising everybody, really, not just yourself here, but 16-year-old surprising all of Singapore, beating Loises Yap earlier, is up 8-5 right now on Long Dok Dien. So 2 more racks before he moves on.
AJ Manas, 16 years old, moving in. That would be into the quarterfinals.
Yeah. Well, Kyle Amoroto, another strong Filipino player, down at the moment, 8-4 against Boy Trong An from Vietnam.
So sorry, my mistake. This is actually the round of 16.
Mm-hmm. It is, yeah.
Winner goes on to the quarterfinals.
Correct. Yeah.
So tell us, they beat previous match in the knockout.
Yeah, Ko Ping-chung played a Vietnamese player, I believe. Yeah, he did. He played Man Duc Nguyen. Vietnam. So he beat him 10-2. Yeah. Win Manduk. And actually, Mickey Krause also won 10-2 against another Vietnamese player, Tan Gin Dang. All right, so Koping Chung with the, looks like he potted the 1 ball, so he's found his break, it looks like.
He has. But again, he's lost, he's able to make the 1. Cue ball's traveling up table now based on where he's been placing it in the box. But as we said, more important to be shooting than to be sitting.
Correct.
With no ball down.
Yeah.
So he'll take that for the moment. Long shot on the 2. This is a very difficult shot. It was not easy. He needed to get position on the 3.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. He had to hit it, delicately. Didn't want to jam it too much and get stuck behind the 9, but still, it was a makeable shot. 1 for KPC, I think. Normally he makes that shot. Yeah.
You would expect him to make it.
Mm-hmm. But, we just said it, right? You'd rather be at the table than not be at the table, but by doing that, you sacrifice a potentially good shot by sending the cue ball down table on the break. So he's kind of a little out of sorts right now, right? He's still trying to find himself, still trying to find that break. And Mickey's been on form. Let's see if he can capitalize again. He has been every time that Koping Chung makes a mistake.
So we can see up table that the 7 and 8 are tied up.
He has a couple options. He could try to break them out now and slide the 3 ball in between. I think he's going to do it and try to go off of the 7 or the 8 to pot and break out. Looks like it. There it is.
Oh, great.
Beautiful shot.
So use the 8 ball as a guide to help pocket. Great move.
Mm-hmm.
That's very clever.
It's like a basketball reference, but I say using the backboard, right? It's like making a little bit of a bigger pot for you.
That's right. Makes it a bigger pocket. And that just opened things up nicely for Mickey Krause.
Yeah. That's nice. Has a slight angle there. Doesn't need much. Good stroke there. He wanted to come back and didn't want to be on the short side, so he came back with a little bit of draw there. Good stroke. Probably wanted a little further down table, but still no problem.
Nice response from Denmark's Mickey Krause. Pushed the scoreline to 7-5 now. Not showing any signs of cracking under the pressure. He's going to take a little bit of a break. And it was that missed 2 ball. And that was a great shot there to open up that cluster and keep the rack going. It's really come down to this break shot for Koping Chung. He's just not. He's found a way to make the ball, but he's lost control of the cue ball.
Exactly. Yeah.
And he's ended up with this long shot, 2 racks in a row. There you see the scoreline, 7-5. Winner moves on to the quarterfinal. And there you see the Aspire Recreation Center, one of the top pool halls here in Singapore, and one of the only pool halls to serve beer, as you said yesterday. That's always a plus, isn't it?
It is. It is. You know, like I said, I'm an amateur pool player. It's nice to have a beer in my hand when I play some pool.
Calms the nerves.
It does.
Liquid courage. All right, we'll be back in just a minute after these players take their break, and we'll take a short break and see you in a few minutes. Well, that was a quick break. Yeah, you were saying he runs around the table fast. He goes to the men's room fast. Okay.
Yeah.
He doesn't mess about.
He doesn't.
And he makes the one in the side yet again. No clear shot to a pocket on this 2-ball.
Yeah, first shot, as you say, playing a safety. Oh, I mean, it's a good safety, but he's kind of kicking himself a little bit here because you really want to hide that cue ball behind the 9. You let it come out just a little bit, hit it a little too hard, and just let the cue hide behind, or come off and not hide behind the 9 like you wanted. The difference there is what you see, right? Is Koping Chung's now getting his jump cue, whereas he hides that cue ball behind the 9. It makes it almost impossible to jump.
That's right. So a lockdown safety would mean he'd have to actually kick it.
Correct. At least 2 rails.
Yeah. So he's certainly going to get to this. Whether he can pot it or not, but we'll see. Oh, wow.
Shot. Wow.
That's a big wow.
Exactly.
I mean, it's one thing to get it. I mean, that 2's not even close to the pocket. Just the precision involved in that is amazing.
Absolutely. You know, and he's actually think the 3-2, right? It's one thing to just pot it, but also to think, okay, hold the cue ball here as well. So I'm going to
position.
Exactly.
And I don't know if you noticed, but Mickey was shaking his head. He knows he messed up that safety.
Mm-hmm.
He really needed to marry the cue ball up to the 9, and he didn't. He got cover, but he didn't. He didn't marry it up there. So that allowed Ko to break out the short stick, and here we are.
Yeah, I got to give Aloysius Yap a little credit. I've seen a lot of Singaporeans try to do the jump and draw that Aloysius has done several times. He's famous for one of his matches where he just gets impeccable shape on a shot. And, you know, I've tried it a few times, trying to emulate. Haven't been able to do it.
Really?
No.
Jump and draw? No?
Yeah, it's pretty difficult. They make it look easy, but it's certainly not. He wants to make sure, of course, he doesn't hit the 6 with his T-shirt. That would be a foul.
That's right. The ball doesn't even have to move. If you touch the ball with your shirt, that's a foul.
That might have been the hardest obstacle in this frame, is not touching that 6. Other than that, it looks pretty.
Well, the jump shot was pretty. Jump and pop was pretty tough.
That's true. He deserves his rack after that. That's nice, because any angle is going to give you just natural shape on this 9-ball. There it is. He had to put with a little left to get even better shape than he had to, but pretty elementary from here for him.
Well, off that brilliant jump and pot on the 2-ball, Ko Ping Chung cuts the lead to 7-6. And he'll be breaking in the next rack. Spot in the quarterfinals awaits the winner of this match. Action going on around the arena here at the Aspire Recreation Center in Singapore. Get some updates on some scores for you.
Let's do that. Looks like James Aranas just finished. He's moving on. Table number 1. He beat Michael Bawanan. Oh, 9-4. He's on the hill. He still needs one more. Thank you. One more on the hill. But Kyle Amoroto did fall down to Boy Trong An from Vietnam, 10-6. That one is a final.
Jundao Mazon, 7-5 on Chinese Taipei's Chang Yulong, who somehow picked up the name Patrick along the way.
He looks like a Patrick.
He does he? He looks like Chang Yulong to me. I don't know. I don't know where he got the Patrick from, but he somehow he picked up the name Patrick. Here the scoreline 7-6 in favor of Mickey Krause. Ko goes back to that spot where he's had success. He's been able to get the there. He did it. Kept control of the cue ball from that spot that he moved to. There you can see he moved the ball. He was playing off the side box. Now he's moved like one ball in. He's losing control of the cue. We're going to see Shorty.
Oh, good question. Look like, I would think we are. Let's see. Yeah, there he goes.
Of course we are.
I mean, after he did the last jump on the 2-ball, let's just do it again on the 2-ball, right?
So he kept the cue ball down in this lower end of the table, which is what they want to do. Potted the 1-ball. And now a jump shot on the 2. Now pay attention. He's not just going for the pot. He's going to try to get position.
Absolutely.
To pot this 3. There's a lot of calculations going on here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as you can see, he's hitting down, right? So he does want to try to hold the cue ball as much as possible. He let it fly a little bit.
Oh, I think
beautiful
that,
shot.
Oh, yeah,
beautiful,
amazing.
shot.
So he could have gone in the side pocket, but he brings it back.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful shot.
And it still passes, so this will go into the corner. Wow.
Yeah.
So much going on there. And he's able to execute and stay at the table.
I just want to jump like him. The shape, you know, it's okay.
You'll
worry
deal with
about that later.
after, whatever. You'll take anything. You just want to be able to jump
Exactly.
and pot the ball.
But, you know, it's one of those things about players at his caliber, his skill level, that we've seen, you know, him make 99 balls in a row, was it? Yeah, that when it comes to a point like this, anytime he gets a jump shot, you expect him to make it, right? Because he's that good, you know. It's like, wow. He's setting the standard just higher and higher every time we see him play.
Well, that describes his game over the last few years perfectly, setting the standard higher and higher.
Yeah, you normally don't see too much emotion on the face of Mickey Krause, but I gotta think that you know, sitting down for this long for a fast player is amplified by 3 or 4x, right? You just are itching to get back at the table, but Ko-Ping Chung is keeping him seated.
Yeah, and he knows what he's up against. This is no ordinary player.
Yeah.
I remember when it really opened up for Ko-Ping Chung when he won the World 10-Ball Championship in 2019. And ever since then, he's just been an absolute force in any tournament that he plays in. Whoa. Not the ideal position there. So what do you reckon for this shot?
Well, it's not ideal, like you said, but it should be fine. I think it's a cut. The only consideration is don't scratch in the corner, right? It shouldn't scratch on the side, so you just got to make sure that the cue ball doesn't fly too much. See, it's going towards that direction. You just make sure you don't scratch. Other than that, pot the ball.
No
which he
problem
did
for him.
Yeah.
Did it exactly as you said. We're tied at 7. It's a race to 3 for a spot in the quarterfinals. This is the U.S. Open champion this year. He won that in spectacular fashion, just playing as good as anyone has ever seen in recent times.
It's arguably, that match against Aloysius, the best performance that we have ever seen, right? I mean, you heard Jeremy Jones say it a couple of times, like, we're watching greatness.
Yeah.
And it was, they were almost coming, you know, they didn't have anything to say in the commentary booth because it's already been said over and over about how amazing his
Sound like a
performance.
broken record.
Yeah, there he goes again and again. He just wasn't missing a shot. It was really an amazing performance.
And right now, all he can do is wait for his opportunity. Ko-Ping Chung has finally, after 90 minutes, found the break shot. He tinkered with it. He got a little success, but he was losing control of the cue ball. The last rack, he had it perfect. One ball on the side and control of the cue ball. There he makes the one on the side. One goes way up table. He's got another ball down. I believe that's the 8 ball. Let's see. When the referee gets out of the way, where what kind of shot he has left.
So 3 balls in the break. Nice.
No clear shot to a pocket. So Eddie, what do you like for this shot? I mean, we're tied at 7.
Well, as much as you don't want to let your opponent back at the table, you've got to play a defense here, right? It's not really worth trying to cut this because the cue ball control is going to be pretty difficult. I think it's just going to be a smarter shot to try and send the 2 ball down table. If you can play with a little bit of bottom, you might be able to hide the cue ball, which is probably what he's looking at now, either behind the 8 or the 3. But you want to make sure that the 2 ball comes back this bottom rail and up table. Speed is the most important thing here. Oh, and he ends up hitting the 4. Yeah, he did not. He's the look on his face there.
Yeah.
He did not want to run into the 4 ball. I think I said 8 earlier, the 4 ball, but yeah. And then obviously he gives him a wide open shot in the 2 ball.
And here's the chance that
Yeah.
he was waiting for. But he's been sitting for a little bit. Will that affect Mickey Krause?
I mean, you've said this a couple of times today and yesterday about there's turning points in the match where, you know, the momentum could shift. This could be one of those shots. 7-7 race. You know, Mickey only needs 3 more games, and this could be a gimme. Oof.
I was going to say, you said gimme. There's no gimmies at this point in the match. You're playing the best in the world. Late in the match. TV table. No gimmies. We don't pick up the pen and give them the score until that 9 ball's down.
Good call.
Anything can happen. This is when these are the championship rounds.
Yeah, it does make it a lot more fun knowing that anything can happen, right? Anybody can win at this stage. And as you said, we're all human here, and everyone can make mistakes. That was
pressure's building.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mistake. And like you said, Mickey's been sitting a while.
Yeah.
That was an unforced error on Mickey's part. Whoa.
Oh, hello.
Whoa.
Confidence. Look at that.
That is not a shot at all, especially to come back for shape on the 5 in the side.
And I think if he misses that, he's probably safe. You know, so that's what he was thinking there. Very nice effort from Mickey Krause. He's got another
I was going to say
tough
he could.
one here.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. I was going to say he could also take it down table like he did so he can get better shape on the 6, which is what he elected to do. You know, it's really top-notch playing. He elects to take the harder shot to get better shape.
So, some really good shot making after sitting for a while. Mickey Krause gets one back. 8-7 now. He's 2 away from a big upset and a shot and a spot in the final 8. Yeah, Koping Chung not happy with what happened with the cue ball there. Got away from him. Now look at this shot. The bank on the 4.
Yeah.
He's jacked up. You can feel it. He's feeling it now. He needs 2 more.
2 more. I think it's pretty safe to say that'd be quite the upset if Mickey can pull this off.
This would be a big upset. A lot of people will be surprised to see this. And coming on the heels of Aloysius Yap getting upset by AJ Manas of the Philippines.
And he went on to win his next match. So he's on through.
Yeah.
Quarterfinals. 16-year-old AJ Manas.
Yep. Great story there. So Mickey Krause now. 2 to go. No. So this time, just when he needs it most to go on the hill, gets nothing down, a dry break, and he leaves a shot for Ko.
So you said he leaves a shot, but the hard part here is getting shape on the 2. Because there's just a small window that he has to work with the 3 and the 4 in the way. You know, potting the 1 in the side, not so difficult. Getting shape on the 2, next level.
He's mapping out the route to get to the 2. He sees it. Can he execute it? Wow. Guess that's all he could do. He's got a shot, I believe.
What a shot.
How about that?
Really nice.
And such a big moment in the match here. If he gives up the table, that could be it.
Wow.
Wow.
Just barely missing the 4 ball, huh?
Yeah.
And like you said, if he misses it, if he rattles that ball, lies, he probably would have gave up the rack.
Yeah, this is the point of the match. Krause just 2 away from victory. Yeah, a mistake could put him in the chair for the rest of the match. So every shot, a huge shot for Ko.
I'm going to venture to say this is a little bit of gamemanship here. KPC has taken extra time. I think I've seen him wipe down his pull cue about 5 or 6 or 10 times.
I think you got a good point.
I think one way to get into a player's head, especially if they're a fast player, is to slow them down. Nice, just wanted to kill the cue ball a little bit there, roll it forward. Have a nice angle on the 6 for the 7 all the way down table. Come around 2 rails. Really nice shot there.
Wow, this has been a tremendous rack for Ko. What a battle this has turned out to be.
Absolutely.
So this 9-ball to tie it up at 8 apiece. We're down to a race to 2. It'll be Ko with the advantage. He's breaking. And Mickey Krause will exit the arena to try to change the vibe a little bit. Ko's not going nowhere. Krause going to head off to the men's room. Race to 10. Keep scores. You can go visit digitalpool.com. Click on the TE Capital Nineball logo and you will see updated scores. Jundal Mazon and Patrick Chang Yu Lung. Mazon up 8-7 there.
Looks like James Aranas is on his way through, as we know, for tomorrow's match against Jonas Magapantay. I'm not.
Magpantay.
Yes, you're much Filipino names than I am, unfortunately. I should. I'm Spanish. You know, I should have this down by now, but
I don't think Magpantay is Spanish though. I think that's more of a pure Filipino name.
Thank you.
So I'll let you off the hook with that
exactly. Yeah. But yeah, that should be a great match. They're both playing very good. I mean, James Aranas beating Colombiado earlier today. That was a really tough battle. It looked like it could have gone either way. I think it might have been 7-7 at one point, but then Aranas just powered through. And Marvin Assis beating Johan Chua 10-1. So he's on to tomorrow as well.
How about that?
Yeah. Usually Johan's the one putting the beating on other players. Okay, well, we've been saying it all match long is the pivotal part of this match is the break. And let's see what Ko Ping Chung does on this break here.
Keeps it one ball inside the line. Ooh, and he does not pocket anything. Don't know, not sure if how much of that one ball that Kraft can see.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate for us. He got excited that he got to jump back at the table, but could have been a better look here.
Dry break from Ko Ping Chung.
What's it, the 5th dry break of the match? Quite a few.
Yeah.
There's been quite a few.
It's been a struggle for Ko overall.
This is probably the longest we've seen him take on a shot, which is just shows how important this shot is. 8-8, really got to make sure there's no mistakes or critical errors at this point. Wow. Wow, look at that shot. What a defense. Even KPC gives him a little nod of approval. Hides it behind and buries it behind the 8-ball. You know, we've talked about the sportsmanship between so many players here, and we talk about you know, how people are just friendly and good sportsmen. You know, KPC give him a little tap on the table, saying, "Hey, that was a good defense." I appreciate seeing that one. Oof.
Wow. He's left it wide open.
Yeah, that could be costly. Wide open indeed.
Great chance here for Denmark's Mickey Kraus.
He just wants to be on the right side of the table here, so he has a shot on a 3. Put a little bit of right spin on this one so he can make sure he's on the right side of the table, which he easily accomplishes. Again, these players just make it look so effortless, so easy.
A lot to think about here for Mickey Kraus. He cannot afford a mistake. He is in a good position right now to win this match. He's got an open table, and if he can clear the colors, he will be breaking for an upset. But we've seen this time and time again in the sport of pool. Sometimes that last rack can be the most difficult. Getting over the finish line, it's not easy.
You know, the table was fairly open, but I got to point out he really used all different sorts of shots here. Some follow shots, some draw shots.
Good point.
Yeah, so he's really showing us a couple different tools in the tool belt he has.
Mickey Kraus bringing his A game just when he needs it. 9-8 now. He's breaking for the match. Coming up after this match, we'll have Ko's older brother, co-paid Singapore's Desmond Go.
All right, let's go Singapore.
Let's go, go.
Let's go, go.
Go, go.
I'm going to venture to say he's heard that once before.
Yeah. So how do you how player Desmond?
Oh, he's top notch. You know, he's one of the best in Singapore. So, you know, I'm rooting to see him making such a deep run in this tournament. You know, probably in us Copenhagen, I think it's safe to say that. But, you know, who knows? Who knows? I think, you know.
Exactly right. I mean, who knows? Look at this match here. I mean, we obviously Ko Ping Chung favored, and here we got Mickey Kraus breaking for the match. So, yes, Aloysius Yap, favorite in this tournament, gets blown out by 16-year-old AJ Manas of the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those events where all kinds of things are happening.
And, you know, at this late in the game, at this late in the tournament, Desmond Go being on the TV table, I think you might see his best performance, right? You know, he might want to show Singapore and show the rest of the world, you know, what he can do, right? So I think this is a perfect time to put him on TV table, and let's see how the Singaporean fares.
That will be a round of 16 match just like this. This is for a spot in the quarterfinals. Oh, no.
Oh no is right. You know.
But
Yep.
there's a big but. The
And you cannot lie.
and you
I
Good
had,
one, man.
I had to.
You had to do that. Set you up for
No.
the cue ball. Stuck behind the 9. Push out here.
I think so. You know, it's too tight to the 9 to try a jump. A kick is just too difficult. But as I've stated once before with Kopi Chung, you know, his jumps are solid, right? So I would like him to put Mickey at the table with a possible jump. Therefore, he may elect to give it back to Kopi Chung and he'll take the jump, right? That's what I'd like to see. We'll see what he ends up doing though. Taking extra time on every shot, I gotta say.
Well, there is a lot to consider here. As you said, I mean, there's a lot of gamesmanship when it comes to push outs. So you have to think about all this. There's no shot clock, by the way.
Not yet, right?
And I don't think at this point in the match the referee's going to say anything. They do have rules about slow play, but it's not specific.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like on a shot like this, you know, he could take as much time as he needs because it is difficult, right? If it's a straight in shot, you know, okay, hey, come on, take your shot. But this one, especially when your opponent's on the hill, right? You got to make sure you really consider the shot. There's just so many different options he could do with a push out too. Yeah, kind of what I thought, right? So he still leaves him snook or hidden behind the 9. So if Mickey elects to take this jump, then he will. If not, then I think Ko will be glad to take the jump, as we've seen, right?
But there's I don't think there's a path to pocket here, to the side pocket. Is there? Oh, there looks like there is.
I think it goes.
Okay.
It's gonna be tight.
So he's going to take a crack at this, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, what would you think this is a good idea that Krause takes this?
It is, because you know how good Koping Chung's jump making ability is, right? You don't want to let him take the shot. You'd rather have the game in your hands, especially on the hill, right?
So but obviously this doesn't go in. This balls could go anywhere, and which means it could leave it wide open.
Mm-hmm. Well,
so yeah, but you know,
again, I'm amateur, but when
fortune favors the brave here.
I agree.
Right? Take a chance.
Yeah, see, there is a little bit of a window to make it in the side.
Take a chance, and well, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
That was